Something like this. Hit it.
Yo, my name is Larry. I'm so very hairy, got black hairy.
Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Welcome to a very special edition of Ike Live. Here we are, Thursday night, 7:45, and it's a great time to corner this guy sitting to my right. Corner him one-on-one, no big crowds, no thousands of fans screaming, no cameras, none of that bullshit.
That happens always.
Just me, him, and you watching tonight, Ike Live. And you know who he is. No introduction needed. Hunter Shryock, everybody. Hunter Shryock, Bri. Give me a sound effect and claps.
Woo. Crickets.
Woo, you hear that? That was like a groupie in the back. How you doing tonight, Hunter?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Good. Good to see you. You here in the Ike Live studio. You were here last Sunday, but you were actually working. Now we got you here. You're chilling.
Yes.
Does it feel better to be chilling, or does it feel better to be working?
I like them both.
You like them both?
It was fun to get to see how everything worked last week, so now it's like, I know what Brian's doing back there.
Right.
I know what you guys are doing out here.
Right.
Just laboring out here compared to Brian.
I know.
He just sits back there and eats pretzels all day.
Eats pretzels and he's sweating. Look at this. Look at the sweat on his brow.
I want to break something.
You want to break something? All right. Before he breaks something, let me make this guy show a picture of himself to all you guys to let you know he's back there. And the third person in the studio tonight is our very own Brian the Carpenter. How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm all right, man.
Big round of applause.
Makes the wheels go round.
As usual, nothing's working.
Don't get grumpy. Dude, this show doesn't need all that shit. That's glitz and glamour. We don't need that.
I got
This
you,
is a
man.
personalized show. So
That's right.
Gotcha.
I won't worry about that. Let me remind you that this is a really cool Ike Live that we do, because this is a stripped down Ike Live. This would be like, let me give you an example. This would be like, give me your favorite hard metal, alternative rock, just grungy band. What's your favorite band?
No.
Give me one.
I don't even know bands. I know songs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I listen to everything, so...
Right? All right, so this is what...
Metallica.
Metallica.
That's a
okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good
So
band.
this would be like a regular Ike Live would be like Metallica live in concert sitting in the front
That's
row.
what we're doing.
But no, we're not doing that one. The one we're doing tonight is Metallica
Acoustic.
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 No electric, and acoustic in a room with like 10,
guys want me
10
to
MF
sing.
people, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
If you want me to sing, I will.
You have a voice. I heard you singing earlier. You could actually sing.
I can.
Really?
Maybe.
Maybe?
You can.
Never.
I don't
No,
think,
yeah, I
I, don't
heard
think, I
you
don't
sing.
think we
Never.
lead off the show with singing.
Yeah. That.
But no, I'm right there with Brian. Like technical stuff, computer stuff. Everybody thinks I'm a genius when it comes to computers.
Yeah.
Making videos.
Yes.
None of it. So I feel for him right now. It's stressful, man, because you have something to go up and
yeah.
nothing's working.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school for that stuff.
It's all right. Well, we don't need that stuff.
No.
This is a personalized, stripped down,
Yeah.
acoustic version of Ike Live. Let me remind you that we want to hear from you tonight. And no IM tonight on our special personalized Ike Lives. We don't put the IM up.
So what you're saying is we don't want to hear from you.
We do want to hear from them, and we want to hear from you through social media only tonight. Hit us up on our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter account. It's at Ike Live Show. Let us know if you have any questions about the show tonight. I want to jump right into it. Do you mind if we jump right into it?
Let's jump.
Let's do it. And let's start first, because I know I saw it on here while we were periscoping. A lot of questions were the normal questions you get.
Yeah.
What kind of camera do you use?
Right.
What kind of drone do you use? But
How
there
much
were,
you benching?
right, how much you bench pressing? They were the normal questions, but a lot of the ones that came up were the same ones, and they were, what the hell are you doing in New Jersey?
I know.
Why are you here this week?
We are here. Spent the whole week with you.
Yeah,
the
I'm
family.
sorry about that.
No, it's been awesome. we've been filming every day, and it's been exceptionally. When I say exceptionally, it's exceptionally great, because normally you never get 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days of filming in.
Yep.
The weather's been perfect. We got some really sick stuff coming out.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to get home and start working on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go home to snow, and that's gonna force me into like winter hibernation.
Yeah.
And just on the computer.
Yeah.
but it's been good.
That's awesome. I tell you the one thing, and we talked about it, but I've shot a lot of video over the years, and it's like the kiss of death. You pull out that camera, dude, you could be on the best lake in the world at the very best time, and when that camera comes out, it's like the fish shut off.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you can't catch shit. You know, nothing goes right. But this week's been different.
That's exactly why I don't run cameras on my boat in a tournament.
In a tournament, you don't do it.
No. But for fun, I mean, it's awesome. And then to come out here and fish. We fished on the Delaware today.
Yep, Delaware River.
And we crushed them.
That's a rarity.
It's a rarity.
That's
on
a rarity.
Camera. And we had, it was raining.
Yeah.
And we still got it done.
Still got it done. Beat the heavy rain.
It was straight Jersey fishing.
Yeah.
Grungy, dirty, mud, climbing the bank.
We had 2 boats with a total of 15 horsepower between them.
No, actually, we had 2 boats with a total of 9.9 horsepower.
Carbureted up the 50.
Because the other one didn't run.
Yeah, but that 9.9 was a 15.
Oh,
It's
okay.
juiced.
If
It
it,
was
wasn't,
juiced up.
we would have been in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
It's
We
juiced.
would have never got out.
It's
where
juiced.
we
But
allegedly were.
5 days of filming, relative ease at capturing stuff. I mean, most of these days we've been done by 1, 2, 3 o'clock. We've been done. It's crazy.
Never happens.
Never happens.
Never happens, and it's usually you catch a fish or something happens and the weather changes, or it's just trying to find fish, and the whole time you're running around, equipment's everywhere, and this has just been, and a lot of it goes to you because you've had it planned for a while now. We've had this on the schedule, and that helps a lot too.
Yeah,
knowing what you wanted, so we got it done.
Yep.
But
having a game plan, having it figured out.
Very rare.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Now we fished five different places, so you got to see a little bit of South Jersey, kind of this area, what goes on. We've had a varied crew with us this week, including the entire cast of Ike Live. We had Dave Brodzik, aka Worf, aka Fathead, in the boat for one of the shoots. We've had Pete Glusick, the Dean, also called Captain Glusick,
Captain Pete,
in the boat with us. And then today, a very special treat, our very own Brian the Carpenter joining us.
B. Ryan showed up today
for a show.
Put fish in the boat.
Now, I want you to tell me, out of those 3 cast members, any one of them take the cake as far as
it all kind of blends together. I mean, they all have their special.
They're all special.
You had Dave that almost fell in the water about every 5 minutes.
40 or 50 times, yeah. Highlight reel all that for sure.
Brian's up there putting fish in the boat. He's kind of a taller dude, so he's lanky and on those boats that kind of rock a lot, and he's up there and he's got his stature, and half the time he's ready to fall in. And then Pete, he's Pete Glusick.
He's Pete Glusick.
Pete Glusick.
Dude, the best line, and I don't want to give too much away because I really, the videos you're going to start seeing them, by the way, in January. I don't want to give too much away, but the best line of the whole day, and this wasn't cued. This is Pete being Pete.
Oh, Pete.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And he catches a really good one, like a 4-pound class smallmouth, and he's pumped up. He's exciting. He's fist pumping, and he's holding up to the camera, and there's a little quiet pause, and he just, all of the blue just goes, "I'm Pete Glusick, bitches," and holds up that smallmouth. With that stupid mustache that he's rocking right now.
It was ridiculous.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Mustache thanks you, by the way.
Yeah, the mustache thanks you. Great week of filming. I want to get back to that, but I actually want to do something else, and I want to jump to what we talked about this morning in the truck, which I thought was a very interesting story on how you guys got started in fishing. Because let everybody know. And this is a shock because we got a lot of people watching right now.
Yeah.
They're watching. They're seeing the things you've done in the last few years, and they're saying, holy shit, Hunter's been tournament fishing for 15 or 20 years. He's been honing his skill in this sport since he was a little kid. That's not true.
Negative.
Okay. Talk a little bit about this because this is interesting. Tell us how you got involved in fishing and then how late you got involved in tournament fishing because this is a very interesting topic.
Yeah, everybody thinks like my dad started fishing or something, and really it was Fletcher, my older brother, that got into it at a young age, ate up with it. He used to make his own fishing videos, like Bill Dance, and he would
How old was he when he was filming these videos?
9, 10 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he would do the whole, we have hours of footage. And,
so like VHS cassette, old school.
And I was the one hitting the record button for him.
It's all come full circle.
It is. Yeah, it's crazy. And every now and then he would let me come and sit beside of him because I was always the ornery one. Yeah. So I would be sitting and he'd let me come and sit by him and I'd sit there. Just couldn't sit still. But he's talking about his 7-inch Berkeley power bait, and going on about early spring, late spring. He did the whole thing, and he actually won the Casting Kids contest and stuff like that. And my dad would take us out. He would be like 8, 9, 10 years old, running the boat by himself. My dad didn't fish, maybe catfish every once in a while.
Right.
So he would run the boat, and we'd stay on the water, stay out all night. We'd sleep under a tarp. He would wake up.
Sleep under a tarp in the boat?
In the boat, like tied up to a bank, but we're floating.
Wow.
And I remember waking up, and I just was like covered in dew, it's still foggy.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, crawl up in the rod locker, basically, and he's up there literally fishing, and it's just fog. You can't even hardly see.
Wow.
And he's fishing. And ever since then, and then it kind of turned into motocross. And that's when I picked up motocross. I really wasn't into fishing. I always knew how to, cast, stuff like that, but nothing major. So he went to motocross, I went to motocross, and we did that all the way up into our 20s. We were both raced professionally, and then after that, Fletcher quit, and it was 2009. He won the tournament in 2011.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had quit racing, and I bought my first bass boat in 2012.
Wow. That's amazing.
Ever since then, I've been ate up with it too.
Yeah. Now during the time when you got heavy into motocross, that was, you had a passion for it, you were doing it, you started competing professionally. During that, were you still fishing during those years? Were you guys still fishing, or? My
grandma and grandpa has just a lake of their own. And
yeah.
I mean, it's just a real small lake, pond, whatever you want to call it. But we go there, and it might be a couple times a year that I would go and actually catch a bass. You know? But other than that, it wasn't.
Right. So you were hot and heavy, both of you guys, into the motocross scene.
Yeah. Like we didn't hardly fish at all.
Right.
And it wasn't until Fletcher got hurt, he got a boat, and in a couple years he won the Open, and then the next year I got my first boat.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, did the injuries take you out of it? I mean, did at any point both of you guys say to yourself, "This is what I'm going to be doing professionally for the rest of my life," or did it ever get to that level?
Yeah, I mean that's what we were both legitly trying to do, was be paid factory riders.
Yeah.
And injuries, and obviously the competition was so good, and there's only so many guys that make that into a living in that sport, and it's such a short window. Young guys coming in, and they're constantly being, new people coming into the sport, and you get hurt and you just bumps you back.
Yeah.
You get hurt again, it bumps you back. And we just never were good enough to get on that factory ride or have that breakthrough.
Right.
And I looked at it, I had a couple concussions, and I don't even know how many surgeries, broken bones.
That's a rough sport.
Yeah, and I looked at it like, how much longer, at that time I didn't have a job,
Right.
My dad was paying for everything, and I'm just like, how much longer am I going to keep doing this? I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like, either you got to pick, now.
Yeah.
So I just ended up getting a job after that, and it turned out to be a good. I don't regret any of it, because everything that I did in racing is everything I'm doing now in fishing.
Right.
It's no different.
There's a lot of similarities, right?
A lot of similar. It's similar with everything.
Right.
Any sport, or work, jobs in general, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You get in what you get out what you put in.
Right.
So
I look at that sport from afar, and I see a lot of similarities. From the sponsorship to the guys creating brand for themselves.
Absolutely.
Right, and the promotion side of it, I see a lot of similarities. I got to tell you, did you see a lot of the same struggles that we're dealing with now? Both of us, everybody in professional fishing.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of those same struggles on that side in the professional world of motocross?
Oh, it's the same. I mean, I think it's worse it can be worse than racing just because it's not as big of a sport as fishing is.
Right.
But the struggles are there. I mean, the financial issues of trying to get to the tournaments. You know, I hear of guys all the time, and it was the same for racing. I mean, guys are willing to put everything on the line to go to the races.
Yeah.
And to do it again the next year and do it, and it's the same way with fishing.
Yeah.
And I looked at my brother when I was getting into it, and I was like, this close. We was talking about that today too. This close to quitting, because it's like, this is just like racing all over again.
Yeah.
The hardships, the struggles.
Well, let's talk about that. So motocross, you're into it, you're loving it, start having some injuries, you decide to get out, and then you start to fish a few local tournaments, right?
Yeah.
You're fishing in a John boat, essentially.
Yes. Yep.
And then tell me about that conversion now, because the story you told me, which is awesome.
Let's just tell. You want to tell me that?
I like to hear that story. Because we've all had Brian the Carpenter. I want to get your input too. Have you ever, and I know you have, I want you to answer it though. Have you ever had those days where you just want to quit it all? You know what I mean? Whatever it is, work, your normal 9-to-5 job.
Like right now, right here?
Right now,
Yes.
right here. You had those experiences, right? You want to just leave it all behind.
Yeah.
Huh?
Almost daily.
Daily. All right. Tell the story, because this is a good one.
Okay, so it's like I fished a couple tournaments at this point with Fletcher, but he calls me up out of nowhere. Hey, there's a tournament up on Portage, and if there's anybody watching from Ohio, they know where Portage Lakes is. And he's like, there's a tournament up there. He's like, all you got to do is go there and flip the bushes. You're gonna win. And at this time, I've entered weeknight tournaments, $10-15 a piece.
Yeah.
And this was like $100 or $150 to me. At that point, I'm like, $100.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, for a tournament, I'm like, that's a lot of money to be gambling on me.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what
It's
I'm
like
doing.
a Cooper River tournament, Bri.
Yeah.
It's a big local
It's
tournament.
an intimidating tournament. So he gets me all you gotta do, I'll give you all the stuff, blah blah blah. So yeah, he pumped some confidence to me. So there I go. I'm up there the next morning, and before that, I got lost getting to the ramp. So knocking water off. But that's a whole other thing. I'm trying to get to the ramp. I'm almost late, so I'm flustered. Put the boat in the water. There I am. There's other people, and wasn't very good at putting the boat in the water at the time. So I'm all over the ramp. I'm that guy backing down. I get the boat out. I go to pull it up onto the bank so I can go pull the van out. I go to pull the trolling motor up. The cable breaks. You've all had that happen. The cable breaks. I fall down into the bottom of the boat. I didn't fall completely down, but I step into the bottom. And when I step down there's water about 5 inches on my ankle. And I'm like, I'm sinking. What the heck is what the heck is going on?
I'm sinking.
So, I didn't put the plug in the boat.
Happened to all of us. Happens to all of us. Still does.
The trolling motor. The trolling motor stuck in the sand. I can't get the trolling motor up, and I'm sinking.
Wow.
So, and there's all of these nice boats, and these guys are looking at me. They know Fletcher, and they're just like, look at this idiot. I'm feeling just so terrible right now. I try to get it up. Of course, I'm so mad at this point. I have to get the boat off. These guys are trying to help me. I just run the thing right back up onto the trailer, trolling motor down and all. So when I pull the boat out of the water, it's like this on the trailer, like back end high.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was ready to go home at that point. Got the trolling motor fixed, but I was so over it. I was, like I told Mike, I was this close to just being like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again.
You were this close to saying, fuck it.
Yes, absolutely. I was so over it.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I fished that day. I caught 2 fish.
2 fish.
2 fish.
Yeah.
So I was even more pissed after that.
Okay. But you kept going.
I kept going.
What kept you going?
I don't know.
Because I know that moment of frustration you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've had it so many times in my career where I wanted to leave it all behind. I was so ready to leave it. But then something keeps you going.
Yeah.
What kept you going?
I don't know. I mean, I love fishing, and that's the thing about fishing. It's a challenge. I think if it wasn't for tournaments, I don't know if I would like just going fishing as much as what I do.
Yeah.
Because it gave me something to do every week. Like, I'm gonna go figure them out this time, or the weather's changed, or this time of the year, and so you're always like looking forward to getting better.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is giving me something to look forward to, because after racing it was kind of just, what do I do?
Right.
Just 9 to 5. Like,
right.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I
God
think.
forbid, right? Friggin' 9 to 5 slob like the rest of us.
No, I think there's just some people.
9 to 5. Boo.
Some people are just wired like that. I mean, there's the people like to compete, or have to have something else to feed that energy into.
Yeah.
Hey, talking about fishing your first tournament and wanting to quit. Do you remember our very first top rod tournament?
Yes, I do.
How old were we then?
It was 1991, so we were
18, 19.
that would put us at 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to quit in that tournament.
Yeah, I actually did. I left.
You left.
Yeah.
And you had to win in fish, and you left.
No, I lost them.
You lost the win.
Yeah. So paint the picture, dude. There was 5 or 6 of us?
Yeah, 5 or 6 boats. Yeah, so
5.
we started a club, and we needed 6 guys to start the club.
To be official with Bass.
To be official with Bass. To be an official affiliated club with Bass. And we only had 5 guys. Only 5 fish heads that we knew.
Yeah.
And so we conned a 6th guy named Steve Pellegrino. For all the yous have read my book, you know the name. And we conned him to be the lost 6th member. Anyway, make a long story short.
But be honest, we just used his name.
We just used his name. He didn't fish. He was our lost member.
He never fished.
He never fished. Just had really...
You stole his identity.
We stole his identity. But our first tournament, we were excited. We had the rule booklet from Bass.
Yeah.
We bought a scale. Yeah. We were creating this club. This was a big moment for us, and we're stoked. And we're fishing a lake that has potential to catch a lot of good fish.
Really?
We'll make a long story short. We caught shit that day.
It was horrible. We fished Woodbury Lake.
Terrible, tough bite. But you had lots of problems that day.
I think there were 3 bites all day. I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
I caught one on a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
And I put it in my live well, a homemade live well. It was an action pack.
Rubbermaid cooler.
Rubbermaid. With a little pump.
Sprayer.
We were all in Coleman Crawdads.
Coleman Crawdads across the board.
11.5-foot plastic boat. And the fish jumped out of my live well.
No.
I had a crack of daylight, and he porpoised right out and in the water.
No.
I was like, that didn't happen. I mean, it was a miserable day. It was hot. It was summer. Fish aren't biting. So I had one jump out, and I'm all mad.
I'm all mad.
And then I had another bite. And watch that table. Watch that table. Yeah, something's not right there. So I had another bite, and he came up and threw me. And I was like, that's it. I'm out of here. And I left, and I went to...
Brian, what happened to Never Give Up?
I didn't give up. I went somewhere else, and I caught him. I went somewhere and smoked him.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
I went to Village Dock.
Okay.
Yeah, where they were biting.
Who won that first tournament, by the way? With how many fish?
One miserable little fish.
One fish. I actually had 2 bites.
Okay.
I broke one off because I had the ceramic, the porcelain, was out of the tip of my rod, and I set the hook, and it broke at the tip.
Yeah.
And I was devastated at the time.
Yeah.
But I ended up catching one more.
Yeah.
And one fish. Sounds like Ohio.
It does sound like Ohio.
It is. And we were joking about that, but...
It's no joke.
It's not a joke. No. Where you grew up, where you guys grew up, is very similar to what we have here in New Jersey, right?
It's the same without tides.
It's the same without tides, right? Minus tidal water, but smaller bodies of water, crowded conditions, tougher fishing, right? Finesse techniques.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Same shit, right?
Same stuff. It's and the same lakes get pounded.
Oh my God.
Week after week, and I don't know how they hold up. I literally, them fish probably get caught 2-3 times a year maybe.
Yeah.
I don't see how there's that many in them, but I almost would like to live here because on tides, at least you know where to go,
right? Where
to catch them.
Nah, man, that river's tough, dude. That river is tough. We know.
I know
we got time in.
I know it's tough, but at least it's a little more predictable.
It can be
because it seems really random in Ohio.
Right.
You have no idea. You just fish with people that have a clue how to fish it. It's really tough out there.
It is tough.
Yeah.
I guess you guys just made it look really easy then.
Well, hey.
Follow the canoers in. One more thing. I want to talk about one more thing in motocross, and I want to move on. Is there anything you really miss about motocross? Anything that stands out in your mind that you miss about that sport or those days?
Groupies.
Well, talk about that a little bit, because it's interesting, because I want you to talk about that, because in motocross, there seems to be a lot of hot women, and I don't know if they're like, just chicks that are hired by the sponsors that come out and whatever, but it seems like a lot more women involved in motocross.
There is. There always has been. I don't know why. Extreme sport. I think extreme
Round of applause.
sport.
Round of applause for the women in motocross.
For the ladies out there.
I think it's just extreme sports in general. And
Right.
I don't know if fishing has got that image, so to speak, yet.
Right.
But I've seen girls in fishing and stuff too. I think
Right.
it's getting more and more
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
So not a bad thing.
No.
No.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad thing. We want more ladies in the sport.
I
Yeah,
support the ladies.
definitely. More ladies. I mean, anything else you miss besides the groupies?
I don't miss being hurt, because ever since then, the worst thing I've had happen, is like
A broken fingernail?
Yes, a couple of hooks in me or something, but that's about it. But probably just going into a stadium full of people or something, where
Right.
you look up and they got everything's going on. There's
Right.
50 or 60,000 people
Wow.
there to
Yeah.
watch you,
Yeah.
But other than that, just racing in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can't do that stuff now and still be healthy, so
Right.
I'll take the sacrifice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I want to talk to you about the first time that I met you. Do you remember the first time I met you?
I want to say at a Toyota event.
Was it?
I said that real question at a Toyota. No, I don't know.
I
Or was
remember
it?
the first time that I remember meeting and hanging out with you was Lake Erie about 3 or 4 years
that
ago.
yeah, exactly.
I remember that. And I remember because you smashed him in that tournament.
Oh.
And I did too. We both smashed
We
him.
did. It was a crazy day.
Now, was
2
that
days.
was that the first year that you fished the Opens? So that was about, what, 3 years ago?
That was because I started in 2012. I got my boat spring in 2012, and then next year my brother talked me into signing up all the
so
Opens.
2013, you signed up for all the Northern Opens?
All the Northern Opens.
Okay.
As the boater.
Yep.
So, and that was kind of a ballsy choice again,
Right.
because he's just, I'll just do it. You're
Yeah.
not going to know. You're not going to know until you do it.
Yeah.
So you kind of pushed me into that, which there's a lot of truth to that. A lot of guys are, I don't know if I'm ready to fish as a boater or not, and I can see that. But at the time, I didn't know a whole lot, but it makes you learn so much, because
Right.
you know how it is. When you're out there practicing,
Oh, yeah.
it's like someone's holding a gun to your head.
Yeah.
Figure it out. No excuses. You got X amount of time
Yep.
in every tournament, and it's still that way. Every tournament you learn a major lesson, because if you're fishing a Tuesday nighter,
Yeah.
you brush it off. You didn't do well, you brush it off. You go on.
Yep.
Where those, you're so much weights on it that you
Yeah.
learn what happened, and a lot of that. So just coming along how I have been, it's just each tournament's probably made me who I am now.
Right.
More than anything.
Yeah. And so that first year, you had 2 events leading up to Erie.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you did in those first 2 events?
First event was James River.
James River?
I was like 40th place after day 1, and then caught 1 or 2 fish the second day.
Yeah.
Bombed out of that one.
Yeah.
Then Oneida.
Oneida Lake. Yeah.
Finished like 100th place in that one.
Right. And then you get to Erie.
I get to Erie.
And in practice, did you have an inkling going into that tournament that you were gonna smash him?
I had the worst practice ever. Probably still to this day.
You did.
I've ever had.
Wow.
Ever. I never caught a limit of bass in 3 days of fishing.
Wow.
And it's Lake Erie, and you know how
Yeah.
that place is.
Yeah, you got to catch their ass.
I'm not kidding you, and you can ask anybody. I was just so panicked, because I'm like, this is some place that, at that time I wanted to cash a check.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't even catch a limit. Here I am, can't even catch a limit from a place I live 2.5 hours from.
Right.
And it just spun me out. It never been that way ever since then. But it turned out the tournament was opposite, polar opposite.
Total opposite.
Total opposite.
Yeah.
It's
Had
awesome.
a great event. He came in the first day in the low 20s.
Oh, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Fished the whole day the first day. I didn't have a limit at noon.
Ooh.
Wow.
We had to be in at 3 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I finally catch my 5th fish at 12:30. And I look at my brother and I'm like, well, what do I do? Because we were fishing near each other. And he's like, haven't you caught him anywhere else? And I'm like, oh, I'll go run some waypoints. And I pull up to one spot. And it was every cast, me and my co-angler, for 40 minutes.
Oh.
Wow.
And I thought I had, well, the story from that is my co-angler had one on. I get the net up. We're in such a flurry. And I go to net the fish. The fish jumps, and finally I grab it. I put it in the bottom of the boat, and it's a big one. It's like a 5-pounder. I jump up there, and I hear his drag still going. And I look back, and he's like, you didn't net my fish.
What?
Yeah. I had a fish that I netted that wasn't ever hooked in the bottom of my boat, and my co-angler's still running. And I'm like, what?
Holy shit.
No, I'm kid you not, because the bait that he was using was sitting there. Because how they rip off?
Yeah.
Because he came up to the boat, the bait ripped off, and there was, multiple fish right there.
Yeah.
And that one,
wow.
This is a true story. And the guy, and it came up to eat it, and I netted it. I put it in the boat. Okay, and this thing is I'm talking a slab, like this wide.
A 5. A fatty.
At least, because I thought all the ones that I was catching were 3.5s. And they were all 4.5s.
Right.
So it was at least 5+.
Holy
And you had
shit.
to put
True
them back
story.
in.
I sat there and I'm like, I looked at him, I said, what do I do? Do I call Chris and ask him? Because it was the biggest thing in my boat. Like,
yeah.
it would have called out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I call Chris? And he didn't really know, and I'm just, forget it. I dumped it back in. I netted his fish, and I proceeded to make another cast and catch like another 4 something.
Wow. Now, dude, when that shit happens, they
right.
are loaded.
Loaded.
That's
That
loaded.
spot is loaded.
That's loaded.
That is an absolutely amazing story.
Yeah.
And that really happened.
True story. And I found the spot in practice, and I you know how it is in practice. You don't catch and keep catching them.
Yeah.
You
get a couple bites, you move on, you drop a waypoint, and you move on.
Exactly. You don't sit there, and there's boats everywhere around me. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
It was all around me, and nobody seemed to find it. So it was just like, and then we had the bad windstorm that came.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, day 2 was canceled.
Yep.
And a whole new wave of fish moved in the next day. They looked like St. Clair fish. They were them long, skinny ones.
Wow. Yeah.
But you ended up winning that
Yeah, they were
tournament.
long. They were like 30 inches long, but didn't have any girth to them. They're just real long.
They were.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah.
I got to tell you real quick, that was an amazing smallmouth story.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you the one from me when I won at Lake Champlain my freshman season.
Right.
You remember,
Yeah.
I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told Hunter, and this is an amazing thing too. I was in a wad of smallmouth like that on Lake Champlain. It was a top 150 tournament, my freshman year fishing as a pro, first year ever. And the last day of the tournament, my largemouth bite fizzled, and I went to some backup smallmouth. And it was a really unique spot. It was actually, up there on Champlain, we call it sheetrock. And it's that glacial rock that's real flat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it runs on the bottom like in sheets, sort of.
Yep.
And it was on a flat, and there's grass everywhere around it, except right where that rock was at. And same deal. Few bites in practice, threw a waypoint, and I said, if I get in trouble, it's a great spot to come and catch, 13, 14, 15 pounds, whatever. It's never going to win, but whatever. That last day, a huge cold front came through, shut the largemouth down, but it turned on the smallmouth bite. And I pulled up there, and the first cast, I start easing up to that waypoint, throwing a jerk bait. That first cast, dude, it's the most amazing thing. I hook one, and it's like a 3-pounder, not a giant. And I'm like, fuck, there it goes. It's my first one of the day. I'm stoked. I'm reeling it in. And it got about 5 foot from the boat and had a camera guy with me. And when it got close to the boat, I looked down and I saw something I never saw before in my life, dude. I like stopped breathing, and I just like froze. There was a black cloud behind that fish that was 20 foot long by 10 foot wide. And when you first see it, like, you're thrown off because your mind's not processing what it is. Like, I started thinking, like, is that bait? Is that like the weird blob thing from Creepshow, that scary movie? Like,
a cloud rolling.
I couldn't process it, and then it hit me that it was a freaking school of smallmouth, dude. 8 feet of water, a cloud of smallmouth behind this one I'm reeling in, and I couldn't breathe. I like stopped. I'm like reeling, and I had a buoy right there, and I'm like try to kick at it. I finally kicked the buoy, kicked it off, and I wanted to turn away because I didn't want to see him. I was like scared of it. I turned away, and I landed that fish, and it was every cast, dude. For 40 minutes, it was every cast.
God.
But I started to wear on him.
That was the final day?
That was the last day, and I started to wear on him. About 45 minutes in, they started to follow the jerkbait, not bite it.
Yeah.
They started getting a little smart to it, right? So I had a tube rigged, and so I got my tube out and I'd reel the tube up, so the tube was right at the tip of the rod. If one would follow it, I would quick just pitch that tube out there and catch them, and that was my deal. And so they started shying away from it. I started throwing the tube, it started working, I started catching some fish, and there were some bigger ones. And I had this good one, a 3 3/4. Follow the jerkbait right behind it. I'm like, and it's nosing, nosing, and it stops and just fades down. And I quick reel that jerkbait in, and I put the jerkbait down, and I turn around to grab my tube and make a quick cast, and I hear, whoosh, and I look, and dude, that fish came up and smashed that jerkbait, hanging over the water. I had it reeled up, but it was hanging. That fish came out of the water and freaking ate that jerkbait. Dude, the rod was going. I grabbed the rod by the butt, and in one motion, swung in a 3 1/2, 3 3/4.
No.
And dude, I looked at it, and I didn't know it was the same thing. I didn't know if that was a legal fish because I had the tube in my hand.
Yeah.
I was going to make another cast. I didn't, but I was going to.
Right.
And I was catching them so good, I let that fish go. But that was a weird one too. When them smallmouth get charged up, Bri, it's disgusting. It can be disgusting.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're crazy fish.
Yes, they are.
They're nuts. They're nuts.
Speaking of a crazy fish catch,
Yeah,
what about the one when your line broke?
that was crazy.
If the computer was, if this thing was working right now,
right here,
I was just
right
thinking
here.
that same thing. I wanted to see that.
He caught a jerkbait, or caught one on a jerkbait, dangling over the water.
Yeah,
You break your line, you jump in, grab your line.
that shit's crazy. That happened.
That was badass.
That actually
They
happened.
they got that footage.
They got
Yes.
that on film.
Yeah, I would play it right now, but
Yeah.
just so everybody knows, we're having some issues. It's been a while. We've been pretty
Look it
solid
up on
for now,
YouTube.
What was
Mike
that?
Iaconelli,
Yeah.
crazy fish
What
fish
year was
catch.
that, Mike?
That was the year I won Angler of the Year. That was the tournament I won AOY, a Table Rock.
Table Rock.
A lot of pressure in that event for me.
Wow.
It's crazy. That was, by the way, that was 4-pound test.
No.
I
kidding.
dropped down. It was the second day. I dropped down from 6 to 4 to try to get more bites. That was 4-pound test.
Did it work?
I went back to 6 on the last day because then I was scared of that stuff happening.
You probably knew you couldn't jump in the water a couple
Right.
more times and get your line. so-
Right, the water was cold. I didn't want to freeze
Yeah.
my balls off.
Yeah.
But so let's jump back. So Lake Erie, that last event of that year, you had an amazing tournament, good shot to win. Did that give you the confidence to keep going, to keep entering
Yes.
the opens and
that
keep
was
moving?
that was a major.
It was a big tournament for you.
because it was like, it's realistic. It's, I was, really, to have that feeling coming into weighing, you don't know what, I didn't know what you had. I didn't know what anybody else had.
Yeah.
But to have that feeling, it's like, that's what everybody wants to get
Yeah.
back to.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it, and you've won almost everything. But you love that feeling coming into weighing. You got a sack of fish, and you got that feeling in your gut, like, what's going to happen?
It's a
you
great
don't know.
feeling.
It's awesome, and you can't buy that.
Yeah.
You can't can't get it from anywhere.
No.
So after that tournament, it's been like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So it's been downhill from there.
It hasn't been downhill because We're here 2 seasons later, and this season, you came close. Very, very close. I'd call it inches away from qualifying for the elites. How do you, and by the way, you're going to be fishing all 3 divisions again in 2016.
Yep.
So what's your mindset? Because, from my perspective, I'm looking at it, I'm like, you almost won an open. Last year, you came inches from qualifying for the elites. So it's a matter of time. One of these, this year you're going to make it. The next year you're going to make it, or you're going to win an open.
I hope.
Yeah, I mean, you're there.
It's just like with any sport, you just, you achieve something and you want something more.
Yeah.
So the expectations now, going into this is my fourth time fishing the Opens.
Yep.
4th year.
This will be your 4th year.
So definitely expect to do well, but fishing them for so long now, it's like, I fished with you guys, it's like I respect you guys, but I want to do well. I want to beat you guys.
Yeah.
And I want to be up there fishing with you guys. So that's the only thing, is the expectations get higher and higher.
Yeah.
So going into next year, I expect to be getting a check. I expect to be getting top 12s. But that, whether that happens or not,
right.
But having that mindset's a huge thing in fishing,
At the end
you know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's fishing, on any given day. Let me remind you, I'm going to start checking. Brian the Carpenter is busy with other stuff, but I want to be checking it.
All right, I've got questions, but
you do?
Waiting for you guys to get through your conversation.
Okay, cool. Let me remind you, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages at Ike Live Show if you've got any questions. Here's one that I know because when we were periscoping, it was the other one I saw. I didn't get a chance to ask you, but I want to ask you. There's a ton of young guys out there. Now, I call you young because you're a younger guy in the sport, and I'm an old guy. But there's guys even younger than you in their teens, 20s. Yeah. And I think they look at both you and your brother, and they see this amazing amount of success in a small period of time, especially from the standpoint of a sponsorship perspective, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, because that was one of the questions that came through a Periscope, and I don't remember who posted it, but they said, holy shit, Hunter's doing so well with sponsors this early. How do you do it? That's a great question. I think a lot of people see that. They see, they see Fletcher, they see you doing amazing, and you guys have brands, you have images, you're working with companies. How did all that happen in such a short period of time?
Well, I think, for me, it was a heck of a lot easier because Fletcher obviously already paved a road of gold for me.
True. Yeah.
And I'm not going to deny that. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be fishing. He's taught me everything. He's done dang near everything for me.
Yeah.
But catch the fish for me, basically. But
did he used to change your diapers?
Occasionally, he still does. If we're at the tournament sometimes.
How many years between you?
3 years.
Oh, 3? Okay.
Yep.
And you have another brother, right?
I have a younger brother.
Oh, younger?
Chandler. Yep.
Okay.
He's a smart one. He stays in school.
Okay.
It's a good move.
But, like I said, the connections were already in place, so I got to shake hands with, big people in the industry before I was, actually doing well in fishing. And a lot of stuff with the videos, and I think a lot of people like that. And it's not that I'm a great angler. I think, like you said, the image and doing what I'm doing with the videos is right there with what I'm trying to achieve.
Right.
On the fishing side.
Yeah.
So that all together, and just being really blessed. I've been super fortunate to have the things that I have. And that could go away anytime. I know that. But, just having those guys back me, like I said, at such a young age, or so young in the sport, I really appreciate them taking the risk, because it is. But,
well, I tell you, from my perspective, what I love, and I attribute a lot of your success to what you guys have done, and I think it's amazing, because this sport, Brian the Carpenter, correct me if I'm wrong, when we were young, I say young, when we were talking about when we were 18, 19, 20, and we were in this club, and we looked at professional fishing, there was a huge group of the same people, right? Southern guys that were 40, 50 years old, and it was all the same, just a big blur of that same group of anglers.
Yep.
And now, what I love about the sport and what I think is amazing is that there's different people with different backgrounds, and you guys bring something to the table that's fresh and different, and that's had to help you guys a lot.
Going back to that, you are probably one of the first ones to change that image. Am I right?
Maybe.
You've paved the road for us to make it a heck of a lot easier, though.
I'm a dick, and I was able to brand that. Is that right, Brian?
He said it.
Okay, Brian agrees.
I agree.
But no, like I said, you are I looked at you and I wasn't even into fishing yet. When Fletcher just started fishing, I'm like, who's this guy? I like this guy because he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's screaming all the time. Yeah. And I just was an outsider looking in. My motocross roots, that's the type of stuff I was used to.
Yeah.
And that's all we've really done. We haven't deviated from who we were before.
Right.
And I think some people try to change and conform to be what the sport is or what it's imaged as.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, I just did what I wanted to do, but I didn't change. It's like just because I'm fishing doesn't mean
you're the same guy now.
I still got the flat hat because that's
same thing.
Yeah.
From when you were doing motocross to now.
Absolutely.
You're the same person.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
I'm super excited. I know the last tournament I fished, a guy came up to me and he's like, I heard you over there screaming, but how big was that fish? And I'm like, I don't know, like a 3-pounder. And he's like, I thought you caught a 10-pounder. That's how I am. I'm kind of like Mike here, but I get excited. We didn't change to be something else. So I think that says a lot for us and for people coming in. There's a lot of young kids I see now kind of doing the same thing. That's just
they
who
can be themselves, right?
Yeah,
they don't have
absolutely.
to conform to a certain stereotype.
And it grows the sport, I think, to the city fishing, like we've talked about, to all across the country. It's not stereotypically, one certain image.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Brian Carpenter, let's go to you. You've been checking the Ike Live show social feeds. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and I think you've got some.
I'll hit you with a couple off Facebook, and then I'll dig into the Twitter questions. Nathan Hahn wants to know, what lures do you use when in Wisconsin?
That's a good question. Is that for me or is that for Hunter? Is it for both of us?
It's for both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, I use lures in Wisconsin. Well,
cheese.
I use cheese.
Yeah.
I like cheese. I like fried cheese.
Fried cheese.
I like cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
It depends on the fishery, right? Wisconsin's a pretty big state. It's a hard one to answer because it really depends on the fishery.
Right.
If you had one.
If I had one, Wisconsin. A lot of the Wisconsin fishing I'm doing smallmouth, right? So I'd have to say like a typical smallmouth bait, like a tube or a drop shot would probably be. Would probably be right up there at the top.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Morgan Krell, also from Facebook. I guess this one's directed towards you, Mike. I'm from New York City, and I know you guys were out here a couple of weeks ago. How do you guys do? What lakes did you fish? When will the video be coming out? And when you coming back?
Great question. We did. We fished up in New York City. We actually fished in Central Park. We fished 2 of the lakes in Central Park. We fished the lake, and we fished Harlem Mere. And it was phenomenal fishing right in the city. Man, I don't know when I'm coming back to New York City. Now in New York, we have a few tournaments there next year. We have one on Cayuga and one on Oneida. So I'll be back up in New York in the summer next year. As far as all the film, all the stuff we're doing right now, that stuff you're going to see it starting in January. It's a new series called Going Ike. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But great question. What else you got, Brian?
Joey Randall on Twitter, at Catch More Fish. Can Hunter and Ike discuss the differences between spotted bass and smallmouth bass behavior? They seem to have a lot of similarities.
Ooh, it's a good question.
No, they don't. Trust me.
What is a scientific name for a spotted bass, Brad? Do you know?
Spotopotamus.
Yes, spotopotamus.
Microptilus spotomotamus?
Yep.
What about a smallmouth?
Macropterus.
Microptilus microptilus?
Yep.
That's not the scientific name. I tell you, my opinion on it. I mean, they're different species, and you know they act different certain times of the year. I think the similarities are they tend to group up more than largemouth. They'll do that, especially in the extreme temperature periods, summer and winter. They group up. They tend to be a little more aggressive than largemouth, right? So quicker moving bait. But smallmouth, let me tell you, smallmouth feed more on sight and scent than any of the other bass species. Ooh. They do, for sure. And, you know, I can tell you from years of experience. And why are the best smallmouth days you've ever had in your life? It's always sunny and freaking piss select, dude. High sun, no wind, calm conditions. When you think of those conditions, you think that's tough fishing. For big smallmouth, it's the best conditions.
Best.
It's because they're using their vision.
Yep.
The other analogy I'm going to give you is gulp. And dude, we know this.
Yeah.
Gulp is an amazing product. When you're fishing for largemouth, it doesn't matter. When you're fishing for spotted bass, maybe a little. But when you're fishing for smallmouth, dude,
big difference.
Huge difference. Huge difference. And it's because smallmouth feed on scent. Sight and scent more than largemouth and spots. What do you have to add to that?
I'm going to tell the difference between spots and smallmouth since you got that covered on the similarities. Spots, they don't care about when it comes to the weather. If it's sunny one day and you caught them, and it's cloudy the next, go and throw everything away that you used the first day because you're going to have to go fish totally different.
Yeah.
Smallmouth, usually you can catch them still about the same. May not catch as many, but spots change like that.
They change big time.
And and just don't be afraid to change with them. I mean, there's so many of them that you can go run windy points one day. The next day it's slick calm, you go hit docks or whatever. But just being versatile with those, and once you figure out what they're biting, lights out. But smallmouth are dumb. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Smallmouth are dumb. Spotted bass are smart.
They can be dumb. Yeah, smallmouth can be dumb. Speaking of smallmouth, you just showed me a video today, and I've seen a lot of your stuff. But I got to see two today that I hadn't seen before. Mm-hmm. And one was a smallmouth piece that you shot for Berkeley or Abu. I think it was Abu.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Talk a little bit about that. When did you shoot it, and where can people find it? Because it was sick.
Yeah, it's we was up in Sturgeon Bay. It's we were in June, I think. Mm-hmm. We were testing out all the new Abu Garcia spinning rods, spinning reels, the whole new lineup for 2016. Awesome stuff. But we were up there, and half of them were on beds, some of them weren't. But the funny thing is I've never fished for them on beds before. Yeah. Because Lake Erie, you're thinking, oh, you go smallmouth fishing all the time right there.
Yeah.
But Lake Erie's too dingy.
Right.
You can't see them.
Right.
So that's the first time I ever got to see a smallmouth on a bed.
How deep were they?
3-4 foot.
Okay.
Roughly. Yep. So, I mean, really easy to see. But it was just really neat to actually see them. And you want to talk about largemouth fishing compared to them. I mean, you could have threw a boot in there, and I think they would have attacked it.
A boot.
But we had a lot of fun with that one. We had some cool drone footage, and you can find it on my YouTube page, Hunter Shryock Fishing 496 Films, or my Facebook page. I'll have Brian put that up for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian's going to put up a video for us here, but it'll be in like a week.
Yep.
We'll actually
video
see
of me smashing this computer.
Oh, yeah, a video you smash the computer.
I want to curb stomp it.
Do it.
Face.
Curb stomp it. Let's switch it, and now that we're talking about videos, I want to kind of now talk about the video thing, because this to me is interesting because, there's a I want to say there's a handful of guys right now in this industry, whether it's saltwater or freshwater, Frankie Marion from C1 Films would be one guy. You'd be another. There's a few more that are changing the way that people view fishing. And you really are. I'm not just saying that. It's like art almost, right? No, seriously. Seriously, that's the best way to describe it. It's actually like, it's like a film. It's like a movie. It's actually, it's cinema, right? It's not a standard video. I want to talk about it. I want to start at the beginning though. So, how did you get into this madness? So, you pressed record for Fletcher years and years ago, and now here we are in Ike Live Studios, and you're still pressing record
for him and everybody else.
Yeah. So, how did this whole video gig start?
Really, it started after my first year fishing, and then I seen Brandon Polinick, and I think he was one of the first ones. Shay Baker, they were doing these cool, having the GoPro videos, and I'm just like, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
I want to try. It looks fun. Looks like something just to tape on your boat when you're fishing, and hey, you caught a fish, but nobody's seen it until you have a picture or video of it. So I didn't have a computer or a camera. I ordered both of them. And I just dug into it. I didn't know what I was doing. No schooling in it.
Yeah, so you didn't go to like ITT, Technical Institute,
nothing.
The college where you wear your pajamas or any of that shit.
Nothing.
I
don't know what program I need to use. I have a buddy that does a lot of film work that I got to get some ideas from him, but at the end of the day, I'm researching stuff on YouTube, and next thing I know, I'm making a video and it's up and running, and I learned something every time though. I mean, just this week, I'm learning new stuff, which is the cool thing about it. Like, it never ends.
Right.
It's just like fishing, like it never ends.
Yeah.
And that's what I got into it to do, is just have fun.
Yeah.
Just to make something cool, and it's just spiraled out of control at this point. But I love it because we have no idea where it's going to go.
Right.
I want to put something together that's like makes fishing so much bigger, because it is.
Right.
But it's just not there yet.
Yeah.
And I want it to get there. I want to make something so cool and interesting that, someone that doesn't like fishing will sit down and watch it, and they have no idea what's going on, but they just like to watch it.
Yeah.
Picture everything. And that's my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Is to get new people coming in.
I think that's amazing, and I know I'm sure we've got a lot of people watching tonight, and they're stunned right now. A lot of people are going to be listening to this podcast, and they're stunned because you have no formal training in this at all.
None
None
at all.
So you never went to a class. You never. I mean, what we're seeing, that Abu video that I'm talking about, what we're seeing. Nobody ever taught you to do that. This is all self-taught.
No, the only class I ever taken was a multimedia class, and I think everybody takes that in high school.
Right.
And I made up a couple like videos that was the software's not even close to the same thing.
We had Woodshop.
Yes, it's the same thing. You pick
Mr. Greer.
Yes, you have Woodshop or multimedia, and I
Mr. Greer
got stuck in multimedia, so it wasn't the same thing as what it is now. But
yeah. That's amazing. I know there are people just shaking their heads that they can't believe that you started with a GoPro and an iMovie.
It's the same. It's the same as anything, though. It's just like with the fishing or whatever you want to do. It's just just go for it.
Right.
Go head first.
Right.
I couldn't tell you the amount of nights that I've spent where I didn't sleep, or I would go to bed. I still do it. I'll go to bed at 4 or 5 a.m. And at the time, I was still working, so 5 a.m., I'd go to sleep. I'd set my alarm for 7. I'd get up and work all day.
Yeah.
Just to make a video for myself or me and my brother or something.
Yeah.
Because I was so ate up with it, and I wanted to get it done. So, I didn't have any other time because work or fishing or whatever, so I just stay up all night and do it.
Wow.
And a lot of, people couldn't fathom staying up working on a video, but...
That's amazing. Now, Bri, I don't know... I think a lot of people are thrown off by the fact that they see these videos. They go on Hunter's YouTube page or they see his Facebook stuff, and they see these videos and they think it's a big production, right? They think there's 2 or 3 people, there's giant cameras all around. Were you surprised today at the limited amount of equipment that was used in filming when we were out there today?
I wasn't surprised because I've seen this a few times, but I guess initially I was.
Yeah.
You know, but there's still some setup.
Oh, there's setup.
Oh yeah. I mean, when we a couple of those shots, you know, he set up a camera in this spot and then moved, you know, and got himself a second camera shot there, ran the drone. It's still a bit of a production, and there's a creative value to putting that whole deal together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about the rawness of it.
Yeah.
You know, that it isn't a polished, you know, produced deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and that brings up a good point, which is, you know, I think your stuff has a feel to it that's very much yours, that has not been seen in the fishing industry, but I've seen it some other places in some other sports. Do you take a lot of that from your days in motocross, some of the stuff that you saw there in that world, and have you transferred that to what you're filming now in the fishing world?
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything new being done now that hasn't been done in the past. Off
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's using something or an idea, maybe technology-wise, maybe a little change, but everything's been almost done before.
Right.
But that's just going back to, you know, how we are coming from motocross. That's just the way we like to do it. You
Right.
know, that's the kind of like the style. I like, you know, cool music, you know, whether that's hip hop or rock or classical, because classical can be, you know, pretty, you know, get you amped up and stuff.
TWO.
Yeah. But he's
Someday.
taking phone calls.
He's taking photos. He's not paying attention.
No, I'm producing,
But
bro.
yeah, you know, racing, you know, there's all kinds of videos in racing that's got that same image, same look.
Yeah.
But that's just what I've been used to seeing, so I guess I'm used to kind of going towards that.
Yeah.
You know, that the whole style.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Now I got to tell you, it's I've got to see you work now 5 days in a row, and it's amazing to see it.
Sit with a camera.
It's amazing. No, it's amazing to see it. It's amazing to see this one-man operation from the videoing standpoint. But I got an honest question. What's harder? The video, actually being out there videoing this and having that vision and setting up the shots in your mind, or when you got to go back and get this mass amount of raw footage and then actually paint the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually take and tell me you're saying, because that's funny, but you take this massive shit and then you make a little beautiful story out of it. What you're saying, by the way?
We take chicken shit,
Yep.
make chicken salad out of it.
You make chicken salad out of chicken
How many
shit.
pounds of chicken salad would you like?
I like 69 pounds, please.
It's a lot.
No, because it's a ton of footage. I don't know how much storage space I put on my hard drive this week. Maybe half, 3/4 of a terabyte, which is a lot. And I'm not a nerd. Believe me, I don't.
A terabyte? Is that a dinosaur? Or?
It's just a large group of memory.
Is it related to T-Rex with the
I don't
little
know,
arms?
if you got rid of the flat square bill hat and you just put some glasses on, you could be pretty nerdy.
And
I can be.
If you had little arms, you could live in Ticonderoga. So what's harder?
That's going in, like getting your hand, like the filming. I like the filming because there's always that unknown, you know.
Yeah.
Some days are tougher than others, but when you go back to edit, that's the stay up all night. You know, you're sitting at a desk. And I'm saying this like it's so hard, and I know there's people out there like, oh, I work in a factory.
Yeah,
or I
I was about to throw something at
Look,
you.
I do.
look, he's ready to
With
bust
my
that damn
backside
window
not
down.
even-
I'm not saying
torn
it in
away
a
from
standpoint of
Right.
stamina or you know, strength or anything like that. It's just your mind, you know?
Yeah.
Like keeping your mind focused and sharp to keep doing it, because you don't want to produce something that's crap just because
Right.
you're tired. You know, I want to get it done.
Yeah.
So, you know, staying focused, keeping all that stuff organized, that's probably is the toughest part.
Right.
Because going into a normal 2 to 3 minute video, people, think you just, oh, you filmed. Well, when's the video coming out? Next week? You know? And there'll be...
Like Brian the Carpenter?
Yes.
You want to have
something
tonight.
ready for tonight.
There'll be 50 hours, 50 straight hours of editing, just roughly, give or take, on that 2 to 3 minute video.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
A lot of time spent and devoted just to, get that finished product.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of time.
That's amazing. How about that, Brian? 50 hours for one 2 to 3 minute piece.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's a lot of time.
That is a lot of time.
It's tremendous.
2 minutes.
What is it?
For 2 minutes. Hey,
Yes.
I got a follow-up question to that.
Yes.
You said what's harder, filming it or going back and going through the editing process? How about filming it and not fishing?
Ooh.
Because that would make me freaking nuts. And you've done this all week long.
All week long.
Been to what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, 5 days, Sunday.
Sunday too.
Five
I've
straight
got to
days.
watch Mike fish, catch fish, everybody catch fish.
Yeah.
It's been fun. No, I'm just kidding.
Even Pete Lusick caught a fish.
Yeah.
That's
Dave-
rare.
And Dave caught fish, and I
He
caught
did.
fish, and the Miller brothers caught fish.
They did?
Yeah, yeah.
They did.
And I've caught zero.
But Hunter didn't.
No.
Zero.
Yeah.
Tomorrow might be the day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna. It's a going away present for Hunter tomorrow.
But
We're gonna
seriously,
actually
how
let
hard
him
is that,
catch
man?
one.
Does it
It's-
drive you nuts, or?
Honestly, I feel like I live, and you can probably relate to this. I live 2 different lives.
Like I am Kate?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
All right.
I pass.
Save it for after hours.
Caitlyn Jenner.
No, not like that.
Okay.
Do you want to hold this?
Put that away.
That's it.
But it's like I live 2 different lives. I got the fishing, and then the video stuff. So I take, I'm at a tournament and it's wide open. Social media's off, emails are off, and I'm just so focused on a
You
tournament.
get focused. You do.
Yes.
Because I've tried to call you tournament
Yeah,
week practicing.
Stop calling me Mike.
Yeah,
Ignore.
I have.
Delete.
Yeah.
Ignore.
Sure. Sure. What?
Put that somewhere.
What's the matter?
That mushroom's
Been there the whole time.
Yeah, but now it's all right. That's better.
And so I have, and you're so focused on fishing, and then the tournament's done, it's over, you have tournament hangover, you're like, what do I do now? Okay. And then the videos, you go straight to the videos, and it's, now I'm doing videos. And I try to keep the 2 separate, just, it's easier that way.
Yeah.
And running the camera on you or on my brother or anyone, and just having that to focus on is easier to me than when I try to make a fun video like for myself or with other people, and I'm trying to run a camera, run all the other cameras, have my girlfriend or my little brothers, they all contributed, like they're just as much part of 496 Films as anybody,
Yeah.
to running the stuff, helping me out, because you can't do it all on your own.
Right.
So to film and catch fish is like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So when all I got to do is sit there with a camera and make sure I'm in the right positions, the settings are right, I get you to just catch a fish, it's easier.
Yeah.
So much easier. But I've caught fish before, so I'm not like in a big hurry to come out here and see you guys catch a fish and be like on it right there.
Right.
I want to catch one. No,
Did the 30-pound carp make
I'm-
you a little antsy though?
the 30-pound carp was interesting. I can't. Yeah, we'll see
That was going.
the video of that coming soon.
Yeah.
30-pounder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, quick comment here.
Boat flipped.
What do you got?
Boat flipped?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't
Boat flipped on the
pound
Mike's
12 pound.
12.
12 pound on a silver buddy
silver buddy.
Jeez.
in the tail.
Silver gold
In the
buddy.
tail?
In the tail.
Scott to the T. Scott to the T.
Scott Tootenanny.
Somebody
Got
from
to
Twitter.
the T.
I hope that Pete's Knot is okay with someone else breaking in his brand new chair. I'll be waiting for my prize package.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Scott, you win. We're not sending you nothing, but you win.
You win.
A whole tube of liquid mayhem.
You get the mayhem.
Yeah, you
And
get
it's
the
actually
mayhem.
ketchup on the inside.
Yes, Scott.
Tell you more about that later.
That was very good.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Here we go. What is the best? This for you, Hunter. otherwise known as Fletcher's brother. What is the best value entry-level camera? GoPro, Sony, JVC, etc. And what model? Best value entry-level. Give them a couple options out there.
Yeah, the camera that I ended up getting is a very high-dollar camera, but like I started off with a GoPro. You know, they have GoPros out there. They have the Sony action cams. They got all kinds of stuff like that. You know, that is basically you click record, point, shoot type of thing. And then above that, I'm not really sure as far as the zoom cameras, like the camera I'm using now. I don't know the price points on them, but like I said, a GoPro, the action cam, anything like that. That's you can put on your.
They're fairly comparable. Yeah,
you can put on your boat, and they shoot great footage. They're easy apps to use, easy software to manage. That's the route that I started on.
And here's my answer to that. If you're asking Santa Claus for a camera this year,
yes,
ask for the Sony Red.
Sony Red.
Does Sony make the red or is it just red?
No, just the red.
Oh, the red.
It's only a $50,000 camera.
$50,000 camera. Oh. The red.
Oh.
Yeah, I learned that this week. So
how about it?
It's tuning my knowledge. You have any more, Brock? 'Cause I want to talk about something. No, go ahead. What do you got?
What is your bass of choice? That's not a bad question, actually.
Your bass of choice?
Yeah.
Between the three species?
Yeah.
Oh, smallmouth for me. I want to catch smallmouth.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I like largemouth.
Largemouth.
Big largemouth.
Flipping. Heavyweight.
Yes.
Punching.
Yes.
I know that deal.
Just dirty.
That's your
largemouth fishing.
Big weight, big line, punch through that shit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Ate up with that.
That's fun.
Mike, is that tournament fishing or fun fishing though?
For me, for smallmouth, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun fishing.
Fun fishing for sure.
Yeah, smallmouth and tournament are more unpredictable.
Yeah, they are.
Than largemouth.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll target largemouth more. I want to talk a little bit about. I got to see it this week, but I wanted to dive into it more. It's like a mad scientist watching you work with some of the stuff you did this week, and I got to see some really crazy drone shit, some really crazy, just interesting camera techniques, slow-mo shit. Where does all this come from? Like what?
I don't know.
The drone stuff is unbelievable because I saw you fly through trees this week.
Yeah,
the middle of trees.
Couple mishaps. We got the shot though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to risk it for the shot.
Yeah.
Do it for the vibe.
And you've lost drones before. You want to talk about some of that?
Quick story.
Yeah.
Back on Sturgeon Bay.
Yeah.
We're sitting there filming. I actually had one of the guys from Abu Garcia never flown a drone before. I said, do you know how to? No. Have you played Xbox before? Yes. Okay, you're good to go. Here. And he flew the drone for me and did great. You can see in the video is awesome.
Yeah.
And it actually ended up taking off by itself. You couldn't control it. It takes all the way off back to where it started because they have GPS in them. And I knew what it was doing. And I said, everybody get down. And it was probably 100 yards away. We get in the boat, put the boat on pad in 3 foot of water. I know this is unsafe, but this is probably $1,200 or $1,400 getting ready to land in the water.
Where you launched it?
Where I launched it from?
It's wanting to go home, like a salmon spawning in a creek.
Home. So, there I am. Shut the boat down. I don't even take it out of gear. I'd run up on the front deck and literally jump off the boat into 3-4 foot of water. And trudging, and at this point the drone's just hovering on the water, and then it starts to hit it, and it just goes into the water, and I scoop it back up out of it.
Wow!
And I saved it, and the whole time, my girlfriend and Kevin is beached on the beach from me not shutting the boat off, and it idled.
So the boat just kept going.
The boat just kept going and idled up onto the bank.
Oh my God!
Kevin don't make plays?
Oh no, it didn't go too far, maybe 20 yards, but I saved.
Don't make plays.
I ruined the camera, ruined the gimbal on the drone, but I saved the drone. The drone we used this week.
Same drone.
Same drone.
Wow.
So
Now, did you
crossed.
save the footage, or the footage was gone?
I did. I got the footage, which was the most important thing.
Yeah.
I got the card out quick, dried it off. But yeah. And you've seen how I've reacted. How do I react every time I land the drone?
Oh yeah, you love it. It's like glory when you grab that thing. It's like you're the champion. Yeah, I got it. Touchdown.
It's like when Mike catches a fish.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I cheat death every time I land it.
Got to be proud of that.
It's a sketchy proposition.
Yeah.
I'm not a drone flyer.
Right.
Don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
But I have one.
Gotcha. Well, I think you did pretty good this week. I saw you go.
We still have it. That's the best part.
And I won't get into specifics because we don't want any of the law enforcement chasing us down. No. But I saw you doing some crazy shit with that thing this week.
We didn't really think the whole process through, but we got an awesome shot.
We do.
Did you talk about it or no?
Nah, we're not going to talk about it. We're just
probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
Good
but
call.
it was good. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It will make for an awesome video.
It's going to be awesome. Now, besides,
did you get footage of the flyby?
Well, it was up when that happened, so
yes,
we'll see.
But no, it wouldn't have got that because the camera's pointing down.
Was that an A10? What was that?
I don't know. It was
something was scrambled.
It was a jet.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was amazing. So you talked about that losing, almost losing that drone.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had any just miserable losses of equipment so far?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The same thing. The drone again.
Another drone.
Yes. So I'm sitting there, and my girlfriend, and we were at the lake finishing up a video. We wanted to get some aerial shots, and of course the weather was bad when we were fishing, so I had to go back. We're getting the aerial shots, and almost done. I go bringing the drone around. It just flies off again, and it was flying back to where it started. Well, this time we were on a tree line, and it goes zipping down the tree line, and there's nothing I could do, and I'm hitting the buttons, and it's just humming right into the tree. Hits a tree, falls in about 6 inches of water, and sat there. It was toast.
Oh.
Wow.
I have it sitting on my mantle.
Like a trophy.
Yeah.
Do you get insurance on them?
I don't think any insurance company's going to cover that. Yeah. Yet alone me driving.
Right. Hey, I got a caller.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. One of your fishing partners from this past season.
Cool. Let's see who it is. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
Wall to wall, treetop tall, baby. What's shaking? Fat Cat Newton coming at you.
Fat Cat in the house tonight. Fat Cat Newton.
That's awesome. I was just talking about you today.
Right on, man. What's shaking? What's everybody doing, man? You all down there making some noise or what?
We're making movies. We're making history. We're making people famous. We made Brian the Carpenter famous today. It was awesome.
That's a beautiful thing. I just got done filming myself today, man. I got a new video coming out about swim baits, man. The whole West Coast swim bait game, how I pretty much started it all back in '87, and I'm just trying to, get credit where credit is due. I mean, these guys over there are just straight flossing, and nobody's giving me my credit. You got Butch Brown over there just straight jacking 12, 15, 17 pounders, and never thanking me for teaching him everything. At least, I mean, I consider Butch to be a great friend. I've never met him or talked to him. He doesn't know me, but I consider him to be a friend, and for him not to acknowledge, me doing it first is kind of annoying. But
yeah, I hear you, and I knew that. I knew the swim bait craze dates back to '87, and I know that year was special to you, so I know you had to have something to do with that. Now, are you mad at Byron Velvick for taking any of the credit away from you?
Listen, bless his heart. That dude. Oh, Byron. I mean, he's probably a cool cat, but he thinks he's a whole lot funnier than what he really is. He's that guy that makes you feel uncomfortable. He's the guy that he laughs more at his jokes than anybody else does. He's the guy when you're around him, your jaw's hurt because you've been fake smiling the whole time because you don't want to make him feel bad for himself because he's not funny at all. But
now,
yeah, listen, hold on, whoa. I know it's your show with Fat Cat's on, Fat Cat's corner. Let me finish about my swim bait video. I mean, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't see skinny jeans. I'm the dude that started the skinny jean craze, the flat brim like Hunter's wearing. I started that, and nobody gets like the skinny jeans. I was fishing a tournament, on the West Coast. I think I was in Austin, Texas, somewhere, and I was fishing, and it was probably about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I made a long cast, and boom, I set hook on a 12-pounder straight jacking, and I was rocking my Beaver Boy jeans. Well, I just so happened to lose my foot and fell off the back. Wore the Beaver Boy jeans all day long, got to the weigh-in. I probably had 3 fish for 72 pounds, and everybody was more concerned about my jeans being so tight than they were the fish to wear. Boom, next thing you know, skinny jeans start, West Coast. It just makes me, and then, the swim bait thing. And now, if you want to be a swim baiter, you buy a skateboard, some skinny jeans, a flat bill, and you go buy an $800 swim bait. And I mean, I'm the dude with the swim bait thing. I've got swim baits people haven't even heard of. Like, I've got one I just got in from Japan. It's Amish made, and I mean, it's a 3-piece sinking. It's a fast sinking 8-ounce, 14-inch floating swim bait made out of birds of banana balsa wood. And
I've heard of one of them.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's I'm still working on a name for it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it's called a 24-bit 4 model. And that's just what it is. G42 classified right now. It's just the ID code, but the name I'm still working on it. But
keep it under wraps right now.
Yeah, for right now, Hunter. Hey, Hunter, bless your heart, buddy. I didn't want to come on here and put you on blast or nothing, but I had a ball with you, dude, fishing at the James. But
That's right.
you really made me feel uncomfortable, dude. That once when we pulled up in the back of that cove and you said you had to use the bathroom, I figured you were going to pee in a bottle or something. But when you got on the bow of the boat and you pulled your pants all the way down to your ankles, and all I saw was butt cheeks and you peeing off the front of the boat, I felt a little weird.
That's just how I pee. You don't pee like that?
No. It was just weird, man.
Get out of here.
Bubble guts. You got bubble guts. Next thing you know, you pop a live well, you start pooping, and now what do you do? He's man, I'm lunker dumping, and I'm like,
I'm lunker dumping.
It was so uncomfortable, but no, it was definitely a blast, man.
Yeah, we had a good time that day. I was just telling Mike about it today that we were partnered up day one there. I said I couldn't stop laughing half the time because you was just rolling the entire day.
There was a couple times you got annoyed. You're like, has anyone ever told you that you're just not right? And I'm thinking, you realize you got a fat cat in the back of the boat, right? But no, it's
oh shoot.
Yeah, you got no chance of having a good day and stay focused, man.
Oh, we stunk it up anyhow, so it didn't matter. I mean, at least we got to laugh.
Suck it. The James, I mean, we fished up in the Chick. It was 212 degrees. I was sweating gravy. It was absolutely horrible. Oh, and another thing. When me and you, we were making that run to the Chick, an hour run to the Chick, and we were going across the big part of the river, and it was choppy, like 2 or 3 footers. Just we were pounding them.
We didn't let out, did we?
And we didn't let out.
We didn't let out.
Yeah, you were letting her eat. But then remember, old boy in the Ranger blew by us and sprayed us.
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
No.
Say his name.
I would say Lefebvre. That was Dave Lefebvre.
Go figure.
I swear, Dave, true story, because the next day I ended up seeing old Lefebvre, and yeah, sure enough, that's exactly who it was. And I mean, let's be honest with us, man. Not a lot of people listening to your show right now, so you can be honest. Nobody's going to hear you. You're shaking, aren't you? Because he's coming to the elites next year. You shook up, aren't you?
He's very scared. He's so scared he actually got up and walked out of the room.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Talking to you, Ike. Hey, I appreciate you walking out while I call, buddy. Good talking to you, buddy.
Dude, his phone vibrated and he said, "I gotta go," and he ran upstairs.
Oh, that's good. It's probably Dave calling him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, being teased, girl, let's talk. I want to know if you guys have heard anything about Casey Ashley, because all of a sudden, he went at the Classic and then he's MIA. I mean, every time I go to buy milk, I'm looking on the side of the carton for him. I mean, is Casey still fishing or what?
He's just trying to maximize this time in the limelight.
He's sitting back marinating
By hiding.
Bless his heart, man. Bless the way. I'm glad we got called in right when Ike was walking out. I'm glad that phone call is so important. Hope everybody's okay. It was not about anything bad or.
I think he had to bring groceries in out of the car.
Yeah, it was telemarketer calling. Habib calling about diet pills or something.
Yeah.
I always call at the perfect time, it seems. That's the part where I run out of wind. And you look very awkward right now, Hunter. You want to talk about something, buddy?
Let's talk about something.
Well, how about your day on the water? I mean, how was Hunter as a boater?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How about that, Hunter? How did you feel about that? How were you as a boater?
I was in a what was it? What size boat was that? we ran in.
I don't know, dude. Oh, I will tell you this. Were you familiar with that boat? Because every time we come down, you feel the back deck full of water. I was like, hey, dude, like when you come off pad, how about goose it? And so, like, my butt crack was full of river water every time we come down.
Sure, that was river water, man.
Yeah,
sure?
Yeah, may have been swamp water. You're right. It could have.
Man.
It had a little flavor, that's for sure. But
Fat cat gravy.
yeah, fat cat gravy. We had a good time, dude. Hunter knows what's up. He had a game plan. He stuck to it, and it was just.
Yeah, we stuck to it, and it didn't work. And then we were like, well, what do we do now? We went and hit what? 1 or 2 magic trees.
Yeah, we sure did. And that one, that one you caught one off of, and the boat drifted up a little bit, and I went ahead and flipped over to it and stuck it. And he said, and you would have hit and backed the boat up, put the power poles down, and I couldn't cast over the imaginary line anymore. That was my only keeper. Thanks, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter. I was in
That's a true story, too.
That is a true story.
It's a Hunter backboat at you.
We were in
Backboaters.
in a crunch
So
to
where'd
put
you go,
fish
Mike?
in the boat.
Did you have to bring groceries in, or what was that?
Children, babies.
Children's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Had to
At
sizzle
least
babies.
it's children. That's good.
Yeah, little babies. Sleeping babies.
The fat cat wasn't at all offended.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, fat cat.
It's well, hey, whatever. Whatever, just whatever.
You guys are officially broke up now.
Now, listen, while you were gone, while you were on the phone, I was asking about Lefebvre. Are you shook up about Lefebvre? I mean, I know that, he intimidates you and everything, and now with him coming to the elites, I mean, he was bullying Hunter at the Open, and now with you, I mean, what are you doing? Are you working out? Are you out in the backyard, like, lifting tires and like push-ups? What are you doing to get ready for Lefebvre?
Yeah, well, we had Jim Miller and Dan Miller here. Who
We've been
are,
training.
Yeah, MMA superstars, and they taught me. I want to say about 4 or 5 moves. Stuff that I could use actually on the elite trail.
Yeah, to strangle somebody.
Yeah,
Sure.
these are functional moves that I could use on the trail. So
you're gonna say if you guys are fishing one of the first tournaments and you're locking through somewhere and somebody happens to run up on you, you're just going to get out and camel clutch them, kind of like Ish did, or what?
I might have to. I don't know. I mean, the technique issues was more of a push, but
By the way, Fat Cat, I just want you to know that Hunter was a
Witness.
first-hand witness.
First-hand witness to that altercation.
Hey, he can answer any of your questions.
I cannot wait until Toho Brawl 2016.
Yeah, part 2.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Rumor is the guys are already lining up some old abandoned warehouse, and they're going to be wrapping their hands up with cloth, and they'll be dipping them into glue and shards of glass.
Could be.
That's what I heard. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not.
Yeah.
Might be.
Let it go. Let them fight.
Yeah,
Let it go.
There you go.
Let them
What
fight.
about Keith Reese's new truck, the 650? Is he overcompensating for something or what?
Could be.
Could be. Look, I always get the awkward replies. Can't nobody just open the list. Let's bash. Can we bash anybody for God's sake?
Hold on, Fat
Am I
Cat.
the only one that's got a bash? Can we talk bad about anybody on this show?
Hold on, we're gonna follow this up. Sean McKee on Facebook. Did Hunter learn how to backboat from his brother? I had the same problem on the James.
Yes.
I knew what I was
Yes.
going to do from the jump. You got somebody that's trying to make the elite. Did you fish all 9 opens, Hunter?
I fished all of them except for Erie because I opted out of it for the chance to qualify at Table Rock.
Yeah.
Which is right before. Yes, I fished all of them, basically.
That's so serious.
So, exactly.
So
That's
serious.
so, and that's you're riding around. I mean, Jesus, that's legit. I wonder before FLW shuts down. You think is Johnny Moore's going to buy FLW soon or what? Real talk.
I don't know. We had Jerry McInnes on, and he said that they might be engaged in a summit to talk about the purchase of FLW.
Wow.
Or did Mark Jeffers say that? I'm not sure.
He's buying everything else. Jesus, I mean, why not go ahead and just buy FLW? You can probably get it for $17, $18.
Well, Bass Pro Shops is buying Nordstrom's,
Yeah.
so it's a good possibility.
Yep.
Oh, bless their hearts. Well, look, I'm tired of talking to y'all. It was good, Hunter. Wish you the best, dude, and making your movies and everything. One day you'll get on my level.
I appreciate it, man. It's good talking to you again.
Yeah, man, I appreciate everybody being quiet while I was trying to make jokes. That was nice of y'all. Like I tell you, man, y'all 2455 at wall-to-wall, T-top tall, fat cat dude, and I'm gone.
See you, buddy.
Bye, Fat
See you,
Cat.
dude.
Fat Cat, everybody. Well, that was nice to hear from Fat Cat
Yes, it
Newton.
was cool.
Love Fat Cat.
Outstanding.
Love it. Love it. How did he do in that tournament, by the way?
I don't think he did too well.
How did he do
caught
with
that
you?
one.
I didn't do well.
You
So,
didn't do well.
No.
How many keepers did you catch that day? Do you remember?
I caught a limit,
yeah.
but a limit, it wasn't 9 pounds, 8
9
pounds.
pounds, okay.
I don't know, something like that.
Fat Cat caught a limit or a couple?
I don't think so.
Well, limit was 3.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Not for co-angler's sake.
Okay.
Can hardly
Well, he
remember
caught
what
that
I caught.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, and then he got power pulled out into the channel.
Oh, in the main channel, main river channel. Well, you should have threw a silver buddy. Shame on him.
That is my new secret weapon.
New secret weapon is a silver buddy.
Silver buddy.
A silver buddy. Hey, let me remind everybody, this is a very special, personalized edition of Ike Live with Hunter Shryock. As you know, you can get the show a lot of ways. You know, if you tuned in for 5 minutes, you want to hear the whole show, you could always go back and listen to this thing for free. Lots of ways, Brian the Carpenter. How can they find this thing? Tell me. iTunes,
Stitcher, Carbon TV.
CarbonTV.com.
People really know what Carbon TV is.
They don't
How
know.
cool it is.
Nobody knows.
It's super cool.
That is super cool.
No, seriously.
Lots of ways to get it.
encourage you.
If you missed it, you can listen to it anytime, watch it anytime, absolutely for free, no charge. I want to do something right now. Brian Carpenter, can I get a zoom in on me? I want to talk about a product real quick, and then we were gonna take a break, but we're not gonna take a break now because we have nothing to break to, right? Is that correct?
Hunter wants
He
to
already took a break. That's why.
Yeah.
Cheater.
So I want to talk about a really cool product that we use today. It's the timing of this is great. And why I'm talking about this, I think Hunter's got to take a pee, but we might switch. And there's another guest out here that's at the bar. Larry's sitting at the bar. We might switch and bring Larry in right now. So we're going to see what happens. But this is one of the products today that really helped. You know, we had tougher fishing conditions today.
Yes, we did.
We had, a front approaching. We had cold water. We had actually some added fishing pressure in this place today from other anglers.
Yep.
And it made a difference. Brian, you've talked about experience you had a few weeks ago with it. And I think this helped today. Would you agree? Current conditions?
I feel it gives you that extra second. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like we first got there, you were getting that short bite. And we started fishing before we were set up, before the cameras were set up.
Yeah.
And before we were even going to start sticking them.
Right.
And you felt that jig hit and it was gone.
Gone.
Didn't even get a chance to set
Didn't
the
hold
hook.
it. Yep.
Right. And you could even tell when they were big ones, they were like, bang, and gone.
Yeah.
You know? But when we came back and we were ready to throw,
Came back, settled down, took our time, started putting some liquid mayhem on.
you get that extra second. You feel them chewing on it.
Yeah.
You feel them sucking on that jig a little bit longer.
Yeah. Key product. I'll tell you, man, if you haven't tried this, they're a big supporter of Ike Live. Give them a try. Try this product. It can help, especially in tough conditions. It can help. So I want you to try this stuff. It's really, really good. Joining us now, we don't have a lot of times. We don't have two guests in the studio, but we're blessed tonight to have not one, but two guests here in the Ike Live studio. And joining us live, I think he's from Canada or somewhere near Canada, is Larry. Larry, how you doing tonight?
How we doing today there, folks? Good to be here with Mike Iaconelli and my good buddy Brian the Carpenter. But more importantly, just wanted to talk to everybody about the fishing today. It was pretty solid out there.
It was solid. Now, it's interesting. We're talking fishing, and we know you're a big angler, but yet you brought a hockey stick with you tonight.
I never leave my roots.
Oh, my God. Now, this is true. Brian, a true Canadian has a hockey stick with him at all times.
But I'm not a Canadian.
Oh, you're
I
not?
live right on the border. Like I said, I cross over a couple times.
Okay.
Couple times a year.
Yeah.
Live in the neighboring states right there in Ohio.
Yeah.
But just like to keep a real fish Lake Erie a lot. Lake
Yeah.
Michigan. Catch them big smallmouth up there.
Now, do you ever have passport issues when you're crossing back and forth between the borders?
I don't even have a passport.
You don't have a passport?
No, I don't have a passport. I just run my boat across there. They don't even see me.
Wow, that's smart. That's smart. So you go by water.
We go by water everywhere. I live on an island up there,
right
on Lake Erie. So
gotcha. All right, now let's jump back to let's forget about hockey for a second. I'm gonna jump back to fishing, and we periscoped earlier, and I made mention that a lot of what I learned early on.
Hold on a second.
Did that mustache just change positioning?
Never.
Okay, a lot of what I learned early on was these walleye techniques with leech. Now, you want to talk a little bit about that? Is your early experience based on walleye or multi-species, or how did you start fishing?
Can we talk about compensation here?
Sure.
If I'm going to give up this tip, we're going to have to discuss those terms.
Oh, okay. Brian, what do we have in the kitty for compensation?
Tube of liquid mayhem.
Okay.
It sounds good enough. But anyhow, they're black
and maybe a
leeches.
shirt.
You want to start out with a 4-inch black leech.
Black leeches, right?
On a slider head.
Slider head!
The slider head is the key.
Slider head is key.
That's the key to getting the biggest bites, because a lot of people aren't going to go down to that really light 16th ounce slider head with a leech on it.
And it gives a different action, too.
I'm telling you, Mike, you just dead stick them. You don't move it anywhere, okay? That's where people always go wrong, is they want to move it a bunch.
Right.
You leave it there.
Right.
Leeches don't move.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to go to a pond?
Yeah.
People want to throw frogs. How many times have you seen frogs live around ponds half the time? Half the time there isn't a frog there, okay?
Right.
So you throw buzzbait.
Right.
There's crickets and everything around there mimicking the buzzbeats, but not the frogs.
Right. Right. That makes sense.
I'm giving out all my tips here tonight.
That makes sense. All right. And we'll have to compensate you somehow. Brian, we'll have to come up with a prize package for Larry.
Of course. Naturally.
Somehow. Now, talk a little bit about a bass technique. Now, I know you're renowned known for walleye and multi-species, but I want to switch to bass and talk about the drop shot technique. And you use a drop shot with a shorter stem than a longer stem. And people say drop lead, but you say stem.
Yeah, a lot of people want to talk about the leader or, the long part. It's called a stem.
A stem.
I started this technique, and they want to say it came over from Japan or China or whatever. You know what? It came from me because one day I had some line difficulties. I had to use a stick as a weight. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I found out that it kept my bait up above the bottom.
Right.
So, drop shot stem.
Right, the
You
stem.
have the stem.
Yeah.
Usually want to have a 6 to 8 inch stem.
Right.
But maybe a couple times a year, if they're on the deep weed lines, you want to resort to a maybe 4 to 5 foot stem.
Right, a longer stem.
A longer stem sometimes keeps the bait up there, the higher water column,
Right.
or just run a grub.
A grub.
One of my favorite techniques is throwing a grub.
Ooh, I like
Deep
a grub.
weed lines and
On a bobber?
grubs. You can't beat them.
Chris Delfonso's favorite lure is a grub, so we have a little similarity between Chris.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I want to talk about your accent real quick. I know you're somewhere Canadian border and you go back and forth, but it's very much Al Linderish. You have a Linder accent.
Yeah, he kind of copied me a bit.
He did.
I think he took his show and took a lot of the things that I've said and taught him.
Right.
What I've taught him in the past. Things that I've taught you. You don't say it in the accent that I say it in.
Right.
But I've heard it on here before. You guys copied many of my techniques and products as well.
Right.
Liquid Mayhem.
Yeah.
I've had a lot to do with that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You have.
How do you think you got the crawfish smell?
Wow.
Yeah.
You were involved in that.
Yes.
In the development of that scent.
And I'll tell you what, me and Al Linder went way back fishing over in Wisconsin and stuff.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff coming in, but, I just think that, eventually the sport might die off if I end up leaving it. So
Right.
I think just keeping me involved with everything and people trying to copy me, it's a good thing for everything because as long as I'm here, the sport's going to keep revolving.
Keeps going. This is a rare opportunity. Let me tell you, if you're still watching Ike Live, if you're watching this is a rare opportunity for you to communicate one-on-one with Larry tonight. So you can do it, of course, through our social media sites at Ike Live Show, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But Brian the Carpenter, can we get a 1-800 toll-free? Can we do the toll-free number up here and see if we can get a couple callers?
I could do that.
Straight in for Larry.
Real quick, I got a comment from Christian Thompson, just to throw this back a second. Liquid Mayhem covers up the plastic smell better than Hillary Clinton covers up her emails.
Wow. Wow, that's a great comment.
That's fantastic.
That is a great comment. We've got a toll-free number up here. It's 855-498-0691. Give us a call. If you want to talk one-on-one with Larry, give us a call. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, we have a big rule here in the show, Brian the Carpenter.
Yeah.
And it's we don't talk about religion or politics at all. But I'm going to break that rule tonight.
Oh, boy.
And I want to know, we mentioned Hillary Clinton. I want to know, politically, do you want to talk at all about who you're into, who you're rooting for?
I don't pay attention to any of that stuff.
None of it.
Honestly, I live under a rock.
Wow.
I do one thing. I win tournaments.
That's it.
Okay, Mike? I thought I was brought in here to talk about tournament fishing.
Okay.
I don't want to come in here and have a CNN talk, okay? I want
Okay.
bass fishing 101.
Okay.
That's all I'm about.
You don't, you don't even worry about the politics.
I don't even know who Clinton Hillary is.
So you're just focused on the fish.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Bass fishing, smallmouth fishing, crappie fishing.
Yeah.
That's all I worry about.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Perch.
And perch. Yeah. Perch or K.
White perch.
I want to talk about, I've seen a lot of comments. I've seen your posts. You know, I follow you all the time. So I follow you on Instagram. I see all your posts. And I always see amazing comments about your hair. Is this something you were born with, or do you work at this, or?
I came out of the womb looking like this.
Wow.
Yep.
A full head of hair as a baby.
Yeah. 42 years old, ain't changed a lick, you know. Been fishing tournaments for 37 years.
Wow.
And, professionally for 37.
For 37.
37 years. And I know you want to keep talking about my hair.
Yeah.
Because you want to avoid the question about when we're going to have our face-off fishing event.
Whoa, what are you talking about? Let's talk about this question.
Our face-off fishing event.
face-off
between
fishing event.
Me and Mike Iaconelli. Because I'm tired of the rumors, to be honest
Right.
with you. I'm tired of it.
Right.
Okay? I can beat you flat out like I did back in 97,
97, I remember that. It was a good year.
92.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
92, Top Rod Bassmaster days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to schedule that date live so
Oh.
people will know who's the better angler.
Okay. Let's do this. August 6th, if it drives with your schedule, we have a charity event on the Delaware River. Let's piggyback it with that August 6th date.
Sounds great. But you know what?
Will you accept the challenge on the Delaware?
If you want to pick it on your own waters, let's go for it, you know?
Okay.
I'm telling you, I got some key information today from some fellas fishing on it. I know some places. You know, some good holes to go to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Ooh,
but,
holes. Kubi
I'm
hole.
going to keep the silver buddy in my back pocket there. And, you know, there's some other tricks I got that you guys just don't know about yet. You know, the long 12-inch worms. You ain't even heard me talk about them yet.
Wow.
I heard they're Delaware special.
They can be. They can be in the summer. Now, you're sitting in the normal co-host seat, who is Captain Pete Glusick.
Yeah, Captain Pete. He's a good guy, I tell you.
Yeah, what are your feelings on Captain Pete?
Captain Pete, me and him go way back. Used to fish club tournaments back in the 60s.
What?
You know, we were
You're
all...
talking about Woodstock.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and me and Pete came a long way, and now he's Captain Pete, and I'm Larry Legend. You know,
Wow.
He got the trademark for Captain, but Legend I think is pretty prominent over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, Pete's a good guy. I tell
Pete's a
you.
good guy. Pete's a good guy. Let's talk a little bit about Larry. I've seen over the years you've had some amazing sponsors backing you over the years.
Oh, yeah, you know, you got Harry's Lawnmower Company, you got Dixie's windshield wiper fluid. I
Right.
mean, those people have been behind me since day one, and I'm not going to leave them.
Wow.
You know,
so there's more than money involved. It's the relationship.
Relationships are you know, I get all my laundry done for free.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I break down, which happens frequently.
Yeah.
The Tonka, it breaks down a lot. But,
Right.
you know, the Bronco just can't handle the miles now these
Yeah.
days. But Tom at Tom's Towing, he's got me covered. Basically, the neighboring states of Ohio.
Wow.
So you know, do you have that?
Well, we have a guy that we use, an in-house guy that we use here at Ike Live Studios by the name of J3, who's a auto mechanic that we use.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't beat that stuff.
It's good to have.
It's better than money.
It's way better than money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's real life. Brian Carpenter, what do you got for us back there? You got some IMs you got to call?
Caleb Peck wants to know if have you ever used a hockey stick to catch the fish?
Oh, it's a good question, Larry.
I've never done that before, but I
Okay.
tell you what, if you're fishing around some grass or vegetation down south, I basically resorted to, if you're using a rod any limber than this hockey stick,
Right.
you're not even fishing.
Ah.
You need something that's brute strength,
So you're an advocate of a solid rod,
solid
backbone.
8-foot rod.
Wow.
I might as well use this hockey stick.
Right.
It's a seam difference.
Right.
I
Gotcha.
could probably put some eyes on it and make it happen.
Right.
Actually, I know it would happen.
Right. I like that. Bri, have you used a hockey stick before?
Oh yeah.
For fishing?
No.
Oh.
No. I've done some other things with it.
Oh. I don't know what you
We're
mean
not
by
gonna
that.
talk about that. But
Okay. All right. What else we got back there, Bri?
that's about it.
That's it.
Probably want.
Yeah,
People
we're about
pro-
2 hours in too.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that meant, Larry.
What part?
We're 2 hours in.
Oh, I thought we were gonna run 2 hours. But
Oh, okay. 2 hours. All right. Did we have any calls?
no.
The phone lines are correct. The phone lines are quiet, Larry. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just intimidated by it. You know, I think they watched enough seminars and stuff online of me, you know, talking, enough of my shows,
Yeah.
me winning tournaments, me at the bank cashing
Right.
checks in front of them. They probably
Right.
just got sick of it.
oh, they get pissed off. With all
Yeah,
that
that's
stuff.
why I wear the shirt that says "Keep hating."
Oh, look at that!
Some of the most hated person in fishing.
Wow, and it is an Under Armour shirt
I'd say
too. by the way.
second,
Absolutely.
second most.
Wow.
Second most hated person in bass fishing. Next.
Yeah. Who's the first?
Well, we won't say that.
Okay. All right. Well, Larry, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna see if Hunter can come back
Hang in there.
and exit the show with us. But is there anything you want to say before we let you go? Anybody you want to thank or sponsors you want to thank before you go?
You know, this liquid mayhem stuff, a lot of people just you can put this stuff on anything, you know. You can you got a cut, put some mayhem on it.
Right on the cut.
Right on the cut, it'll fix it up.
Open wound.
You got french fries? Ketchup? Nah.
Wow.
Mayhem.
Wow.
Acne problems, you know, back in the 60s I had a lot of acne. I just rubbed
Right.
some mayhem on it and it's gone.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Oh, Brian Carpenter, what are you doing back there?
Oh, we have a caller on the line.
Oh, we do. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
Scott. It's Scott to the T from.
Hi, Scott. How you doing tonight?
How you doing there, Scotty?
Pretty good. Larry, what's up?
How's it going there? What you up to, bud?
Scott, turn
Not much. Just watching the show, you know.
Scott, turn your computer off, bro, or turn the sound down.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
What's good, boys?
What's your question, Scott? What do you got?
Well, really, the question is for Larry and where that thick-ass accent comes from, because it's tight as hell.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people try to imitate it, you know. It's often imitated, never duplicated. Once the real Larry comes on, you know it's me. But, you know, just a long bloodline of Canada, Ohio accents all mixed into one.
And the mustache getting in the way.
And the mustache, it gets in the way sometimes. But I tell you what, on a chilly, cold Ohio day, there's nothing better than a fresh mustache to keep the cold from dropping down on your lip.
Mustache thanks you.
The mustachio question.
That's brilliant. Well, you know, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to talk to Larry Legend tonight.
Yeah, that's
Well-
a great opportunity for you. I know a lot of people want to do it. Not too many
I'm
people
speechless,
actually
you know?
get to, but yeah, it's pretty lucky.
Yeah. Well, Scott, thanks for the call. That was awesome.
Ike, Ike, love you, man. Thank you so much for what you do.
Appreciate you. You have a good night, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
too.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good luck this year.
Wow, see that, Larry? We actually had one person watching live, at least.
Oh, there's half of America's watching us right now.
You think so?
I know so.
Wow.
I know so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the power of Larry. You know what I mean? That's the power of Larry, the legend. Look at this. Now the phone lines lighten up. What do you attribute this
I think
sudden burst to?
he had the phone off the line. That's why we weren't getting
He's
any
a pretty
calls.
bad producer. He probably
Yeah,
did.
old B. Ryan back
He probably
there.
did. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
Yes, my name is Trudy.
Hi. What's your question tonight?
I was just wondering if Larry the Legend was single.
Oh, Larry.
I think I know who this person is. I can tell. I can tell by their British accent that this may be someone I might know.
Oh, is this an acquaintance of yours or
It
someone
may
you met
be
at
a long list of acquaintances I might have. You get me, Mike?
I get you. Yeah.
You know, Larry had his day back in the 70s. We're not going to go there, though.
Yeah.
I might be a bit of a fan or something like that. I don't know.
I think this is this Olivia? I think this is Olivia. It may be.
Oh, how did you know? I tried to disguise myself.
Wow. So you got it right. Now, Olivia, tell me, do you fish as well? Are you an angler?
Actually, I've only fished like 2 times, but you know what I have? I have a pink fishing pole, and it's fabulous.
Ooh. I like the sound of that.
I do too.
I like fabulous poles.
Can you post a picture of your pink fishing rod on the Ike Live show page?
That'd be great.
No, I don't know. I don't like to reveal, everything that I use.
Yep, keep your secrets tight to it. I like that. Yep.
Now, could you tell us? Do you live here in the States now, or are you back in England, or where are you at?
Did you
actually,
finally
I'm
come
here on
over from England there, sweetie?
Well, actually, I'm here on holiday, here in Ohio, because I knew, that's where Hunter and Larry the Legend are from. So I just thought, well, I'll just go on holiday and see if I get to run into them.
Wow.
They chase me all over the
They
place.
do. I'm
They
sure you
just
have that
chase
problem. I'm sure you have that
me
problem.
all the time.
All the time. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but we have a wall here in the Ike Live Studios with a lot of the people in that wall. If you look at our pictures, people that we're proud of over the years. So we have George Washington, who's a big fan of Ike Live. We have Rick Clunn.
Fable Fever.
We have Ash from Evil Dead up there. But right in the middle, right where our main camera's at, we have a picture of Benny Hill. And, Benny Hill was British.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, Benny was a good guy. I've known him for a long time, but yeah, Olivia, she did a great job. She came over finally from England. She tried to compete, but she just didn't have it in her. The pink rod didn't cut it, but yeah, she's a real cool chick.
Wow, that's awesome. That's all. Now, how old are you, Olivia?
Oh, I'm 22.
Wow.
It's my favorite number, actually. 22, and I'm 22.
That just made our producer very excited.
Yes.
Okay. Would you have any more questions, Olivia, for Larry?
Well, he never actually answered.
Oh, what?
Single. I don't know.
Oh, are you single?
Larry the Legend is definitely single. Larry is, yes.
Whoa. Wow, on the market.
How many other people in here are single right now?
No, I'm not. I'm not single. I'm actually off the market.
Brent?
Brian the Carpenter?
Not single.
Not single. No, we're all off the market
No,
except you, Larry.
no. Yeah, I just heard Hunter out there. He's posted up at the bar right now, but he just hollered he's taken as well.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think I did hear that he's taken by a lovely girl.
A lot of people ask me that.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome. Now, one last question, Olivia, before we let you go. And I'm asking this for selfish reasons. I want to know about your teeth.
Well, I know British are known for having bad teeth, but my teeth are perfect.
Wow.
Are they big?
Are they big?
They're average size.
Average size. Okay.
got
Yeah.
big teeth.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, Larry, anything to say to Olivia before we let her go? Do you want to give her a
No,
phone?
Larry's had enough. He's good to go.
Okay.
I appreciate the call, Olivia. I really miss you.
Well, we missed you too, so have a good night.
Okay, good night. Thanks for the call.
Okay, bye-bye.
Wow. That's unique. I got to tell you something.
Fans, they're fans.
It's amazing because we have no female callers on Ike Live ever, and you're on for literally 5 minutes, and we had a female caller. How do you do that?
The legend effect.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. I tell you, I am stunned that we had a female caller. And a female caller with a British accent. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty much international.
Wow. Wow, that's great. That's great. International to the bone.
International Larry.
One more call. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
Christian Thompson. I'm from Florida. I was wanting to know some of your worst co-angler stories from the Open.
Oh,
From the Opens.
Worst co-angler stories from the Opens. I'm going to give you mine, and then I'm going to let Larry answer too, because Larry's been fishing a lot longer than I have, and I'll let him explain a couple. But I've got one that sticks out as being my worst, and one that sticks out as being my best. My worst co-angler story is actually from an event a few years back, and I drew a young man, probably I want to say early 20s, that fell asleep.
What?
Yeah, about an hour into the day, he fell asleep and he just slept the whole day. Now it's the weirdest thing, and it made me, I don't know, but I felt like bad. I don't want to say bad, but I was like mad about it. I don't know why. Like I was putting the guy to sleep, but that was an interesting thing.
Drugs?
It
You
might.
tugged him in and put some liquid mayhem in his mouth.
I know. I should have did that. Now I want to tell you too. Let me give you the other one, which is the best co-angler story. And the year that I won Lake Erie, on the last day of the tournament, I drew a guy from North Carolina, and he knew I was leading the event. I had to win the tournament to make the classic, and he never made a cast the whole day.
Oh my God.
He sat. He basically.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was the most amazing thing he did for me. He sat in the bottom of the boat and he held the net, waiting for me to catch a smallmouth.
Oh my God.
Isn't that an amazing story?
Wow.
Yeah,
pretty
great,
cool.
great guy. That
I
was
think
what
I
I'm.
could have done that.
Yeah, it was tough for him to do that, but it was an amazing story.
And that was the final day.
That
of
was the
Derby?
last day of the tournament.
So he made the top 12 cut.
Well, no,
10
because the
cut?
day was canceled, so it was full field third day.
Okay.
But it was a great thing he did. Larry, what's your worst co-angler experience?
I've never had a bad co-angler experience.
Never?
No, every time I get them in the boat, they just want to sit back there and they watch me. Half
Yeah.
the time they got their flip phone out and
Right.
they're recording it.
Oh, they're videoing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're taking waypoints off my graph. That's probably the number one worst thing ever. You know, I'm sitting there fishing a tournament and I got a guy flip phoning my screens, taking pictures of my waypoints.
That's got to be frustrating.
It's so frustrating. I got places all across this country that people are just, trying to take advantage of. They don't even fish. They don't want to fish.
Right.
They're with Legend.
Right.
They want to see what I'm
Right.
doing, taking baits out of my tackle box.
They want to watch
know.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you. But, there's a lot of good ones for every battle. So
Right. Gotcha.
what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Caller, thank you for that call. Great question.
Yep.
That was a good question, Bri.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Worst and best co-angler experiences. All right, Larry, we're going to let you go. Thank you. Can I shake your hand real quick? Thank you very much for joining us
I
today.
appreciate it. Mike Iaconelli, and I want to thank my good buddy Brian. He's going to be doing a lot of work for me there next week, We
Yeah.
both are carpenters in a part-time, so...
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we get together and build stuff, so... I just want to thank him and thank everybody at Ike Live, and I will really look forward to that competition there next year.
August 6th.
Larry, before you sign out, just give a point to the camera and say, sign out to everybody. That's it right there.
I want to say, everybody, you have a good night. Stay tuned, because Legend's going to bring the heat on Mike Iaconelli. June 2016.
Thank you, Larry. That was awesome. All right.
you go.
We're going to let Larry go, and I want to bring Hunter back in one last time, and then we're going to end the show. And the number's still up there. So if you want to call in, we're going to run the show about.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, let's we're going to go to 10 o'clock and then we're going to kill the show. Before you get on that call, let me remind everybody real quick what to tell you about the next show. If you're an Ike Live fan and you want to see a really cool show coming up, this coming Sunday at 6 p.m., we have our Thanksgiving special on Ike Live, and we've got 2 very special guests in the house. I don't even want to give it away yet, but watch our social media. Look for the posts. This Sunday, 6 p.m., the Ike Live Thanksgiving special with a couple of amazing guests. Brian, real quick before we get this caller on, do you want to talk about who's going to be on the show this Sunday? Because it's going to be a stellar show.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah, who's coming on for us this Sunday?
The gentleman's name is Rudy Lindsay, and his partner or his buddy is Mark McCowan.
Yeah.
They're both recently retired Army Rangers, Special Ops, Special Forces.
Yeah.
Some pretty badass dudes.
Yeah.
And they're also fish heads. And they're transitioning into fishing and, kind of moving on from what they did. And they have a really, really cool project, a charity-based project that I believe we're going to be working on them with. And just excited to meet them.
Super cool.
Yeah,
nice tie into the Thanksgiving theme.
Yeah, I've been talking to this guy for 6 months now, and awesome dude. Can't wait to meet him, hear some of his stories, and what he's trying to do.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, so we're going to do this. Everybody watching Ike Live, hang with us for, let's see, little more than 10 more minutes. We're going to go till 10 o'clock, and look who joined us. Hunter, thanks for joining us again. That Larry dude's a nut, man.
He takes all the limelight.
He does. He
drives my truck around.
He does. He does?
Yeah.
I didn't know he does driving for you. We've got a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from? Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
Andrew Eden from Hingham, Mass.
How you doing tonight? What's your question?
I'm wondering about being a high school tournament angler and wanting to make that step up to fishing opens and bigger events.
It's a great question. I'll give you a brief answer, and then I'll pass it over to Hunter. The transition for me is what I call stair-stepping. And that's what I think you need to do. I see way too many high school-age kids, college-age kids that try to get into a level before they're ready for it. My best advice for you is that stair-step process, which, is like succeed at a level before you get to the next one. So, in order, to me, it would be like this. It would be, club level fishing, whether it's, a high school club or local club. It would be, regional level fishing, which could include, college, the college fishing circuit or regional circuits. Then the next step would be the opens, right? So, I never suggest jumping straight into the opens as a pro. Sample the waters a little bit. You know what I mean? You got to sample the waters a little bit. Fish as a co-angler. Fish the basic levels before you make that jump. Hunter, what do you suggest?
I did the exact opposite. Everything you did, I did total opposite. But no, what you said has a lot of merit to it because, like me, I had a shortcut to speak of,
right,
between having my brother there, an elite pro, to sit there and tell me day in, day out exactly what's going on. I mean, I know a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
And those learning steps, and that's logical. And the thing is when you get to the opens or big tournaments like that, it's really easy to get your beat up on.
Yeah.
Your mental, you don't want to go for a year or two where you just you get beat because you're not ready for it. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is you don't want to be already ruin your psyche before you're actually good enough to compete at that level.
Right.
I think it happened in racing, and it happens in fishing all the time, to where you got the confidence, like, I belong here. I've took the steps to do this. I've won this, or I've done that, and then you can just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So there you have it. You had both answers, both ways it can be done. Be passionate about it, work hard, and it could happen.
Thank you.
Good question.
Thanks for having me on.
Yep. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you.
Man, there's a lot of kids out there that have that same question, that have that drive. They want to do it. But it's scary. It's scary, isn't it?
Tons of kids.
It's scary from a financial standpoint.
It is.
To get to that open level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of resources to get there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot on the line. And I was fortunate enough to where I had a business where I could, manage that. And I see people, like I said, risking everything to go fishing. The odds are, though, not all of them's going to do it.
Right.
But if you keep pressing forward, something's going to happen.
And it's important to have something else lined up, too, right? Like, and like in your case, you've got this amazing video thing going, right? Which is a double benefit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the film and everything, that's pushing me forward compared to just fishing alone. I couldn't make it just fishing alone.
Right. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you call from?
What's up, Ike? What's up,
Hunter?
This is Matt from Oklahoma.
Hey, Matt. How you doing tonight? What's your question?
Good, man. Hey, just had a question about the Classic this year at Grand.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to see 2013 you made a good run. I wanted to see if you made it to Oklahoma yet and did some pre-fishing, and when you're going to do that.
Great question, Matt. I have not yet. My plan is, it cuts off January 1st is the cutoff for everybody. And, I try to get as close to that cutoff as I can. So about mid-December, I'm going to go to Grand and spend about 5 or 6 days scouting. And the interesting thing is when I scout a lake like that and I go that far out in advance, I don't bring any rods with me at all. So it's going to be 5 or 6 days of straight work on my electronics. I'm looking at a graph, for 5 or 6 days.
Last time you brought your uncle down, you didn't even cast any rods out. I remember you telling that on Facebook. What it was.
It's a tedious period, but the amount of work that you can get done without fishing is amazing. You can learn a lot about the lake. So so that's my game plan. So looking forward to it. It's going to be 2 weeks later. I think the bite's going to be better, and I think not as cold for sure. Yeah, not as cold, and I think if there are no dogs barking at me this year, I'll have a good shot to win. I have a really good shot.
I fished that same dock that you're talking about. And, we'll be back over there at the motel waiting on you. Last year or 2 years ago, you was running up there from the weigh-ins, and whoever was driving your truck was running about 95 mile an hour, and I was trying to I was pulling my boat to watch you guys the final day, and that's one thing I can't forget. So it was pretty cool watching you guys in the water, and we'll be back out there this year. So.
You bringing your dog again?
Good luck to you.
You bringing your dog again?
No, that ain't my dog.
Thanks for the call, Matt.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you. Wow, the phone line's lit up, Bri. It took a little bit, and everybody settled in and got excited all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was good.
What do you think about all that?
It's very happy.
This is madness. Did you ever fix the technical problem?
No.
We're 2 hours in. It's still the same.
Well, every time I get into it, you would ask me a question.
Oh, well, I'm trying to keep you active part of the show. You are part of the show.
I'm knee deep in trying to figure this shit out, and you start asking me questions.
I know. Well, I want you to be a part of the show.
So we have no outro music.
Okay. No, we haven't any outro music. I want to switch gears, and at the end here, I want to kind of wrap this up by talking a little bit one more time about the project that we're working on. And this is kind of a reviving of Going Ike. And, it's going to be a web show. I want you to talk a little bit about that because there's traditional TV out there, right? You've got, and nothing against those shows. Bill Dance, Hank Parker, Jimmy Houston. I love those shows. As a kid growing up, that's what I watch. And that's a very traditional TV show. But what we were engaged in this week and what Going Ike is going to be, it's a lot different, right? Talk a little bit about that.
There's definitely some dynamic to it. I mean, it's all over the place. But, I mean, are we allowed to – you want to talk about – not all about it, but like we fished one day in a kayak.
Yeah, no, let's talk about it. Yeah.
We fished one day in John boats.
Right.
We had fished with different people, different bodies of water. All kinds of, so it's going to be a high energy, just fun fishing, just it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
And people, I think, are, when they think of a fishing show, they expect this very structured thing. But the beauty of this is there's not necessarily a structure, right?
Right. We went out with really the only game plan we had was where we're going,
right,
and who we're fishing with.
Yeah.
There was no, this is what we're going to do type of thing. So whatever happened that day is how it's going to roll out in the video.
That's and that's what the beauty of this to me is it's a story, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to see the story unfold
Absolutely.
about what happened on that trip.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's some good stuff. And, just the stuff that happens that you can't, you don't plan for. I know, like, you caught a 30-pound carp. That wasn't, you can't script that.
It was awesome, too.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Almost fell down. That was awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
There's a lot of stuff you can't make up, and it's real. It's, it's live and just done in a fun way.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Man, I tell you, Brian the Carpenter, I'm stoked about what happened this week. I'm stoked about what we're going to see, the magic we're going to see that Hunter puts together over the next couple months. I'm very excited about it. How about you?
Oh, definitely.
He's putting the pressure.
You had a fun fish catch today, man.
Did several.
3 of us, at that point, Hunter had gotten in the boat with us, so there was 3 of us in a 14-foot, 16-foot maybe?
Yeah, 14, 15-footer probably. Yeah.
It's pouring down the rain.
Pouring down rain.
Yeah.
And you smashed one.
Smashed him.
Yeah, and fell.
Yeah.
You were on your back, laying on your back as you boat flipped it.
Yeah. Still maintain the reel.
That was awesome.
I'm bench pressing Mike up. Back up.
Bench press Mike.
I'm looking at my rods and I'm saying, man, don't smash my rods.
Throw any stees. We can replace them.
We got shooting through tunnels.
Crazy shit.
Fighting current that you wouldn't want to fall out of the boat in.
You ever seen a current like that?
No.
Swift.
I mean, only in flooded rivers.
Yeah.
Swift.
And that stuff happens on the daily around here, but
you could almost surf it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very close. Very close. All right, so I want everybody keep your eye out for this. You're going to see in the next month, you're going to see a couple teaser clips about what Going Ike is really going to be. And it's going to launch in January, so keep your eye out for it. Amazing stuff this week filmed with Hunter. Hunter, before we end the show, look at everybody one time and let them know if they want to follow you, if they want to watch your videos, if they want to see the shit that you're doing now, they want to follow you on the circuit. How can they do that?
You can follow me on Facebook. It's Hunter Shryock Fishing. You can follow me on YouTube, Hunter Shryock Fishing, 496 Films. Basically anything with my first and last name. All social media, Instagram, Twitter. Check it out. Go check my YouTube page out. Got a ton of videos. I think I got like 20-some videos. Got the video of you on there.
Awesome video.
From Toledo
Bend. Had a blast filming that one.
A lot of good stuff on there. So check it out. Follow me. And good time.
Okay. Sounds good. Brian the Carpenter, any last words? Any parting words for our fans?
Fat Cat just sent me a message, so I'll give him a shout out here. Come fish against them at the Cash and Rods Open, December 5th on Lake Norman at North Carolina. Pretty cool. Cool thing Fat Cat's doing, whatever that is. But, yeah. Other than that, thanks for Fat Cat for calling in. Everyone else who called in tonight.
Yep.
Had a good time. Thank you, Hunter.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
It was awesome fishing and filming with you today.
It had a fun week.
Yep.
Very fun.
Blast.
I did too. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight for a very special personalized Ike Live. Tune in this Sunday, 6 p.m. for the Ike Live Thanksgiving special. We'll see you soon. Normally, we go out to music. Tonight, we don't have music, so we're going to go out to song. She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they say.
That's it. Is that a wrap?
Good night.